The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
Yes, I'm recording. I'm waiting for Schweiss to
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan.
Wait.
What was going on?
We did not do the intro.
This time on Nude Clan, the last award show.
Shall we play a game?
Player to another. Dark soul light. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the new clan.
Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast that loves telling you that this is the last time, and yet
I can't believe we did that on the. I honestly can't believe we did that on the first try with no problems whatsoever.
Yeah.
Oh, the intro, yeah.
I asked. No.
I mean,
we're
get
like
used to it after.
We're like the Kojima of podcasts. We're like, no, for real, this is the last Metal Gear I'm making, and that was like the same thing we said 4 Metal Gears ago.
Yeah.
So this time on Nude Clan, I'm Joe.
You're Joe this
I'm
time?
Caleb.
Yeah, just this time.
I'm Zach.
I'm A4.
And so this has been a long-standing tradition of Nude Clan ever since the beginning. We usually have an episode at the beginning of the year that discusses
We measure our own dicks.
that we have for the coming year, and we talk about the previous year, and we give out awards, and we have a Game of the Year, Nude Clan Classic Award, Audience Maximus. I can't remember what our original name for that award was. It was like Big Tits Award, I think.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I can't. It was some Latin.
I mean, I feel like this
definitely
year-
Latin
August
stuff.
Mammorous? I don't know.
I feel like this is going to be a little weird because we don't have the hog-ib to like last year we had people's hog-ib to like look and be like, oh, you read this person read is the top in like reading books this year. So we don't actually have that this year because hog-ib let us down.
True. So
I
that
guess
means you
we
guys got to go on the Discord and honor system.
Yeah.
You got to tell us who played the most video games this year.
I played the most video games.
But I think we should still like talk about like those categories for us. I think would be fun.
I think you're right. I think that's a good idea, and I will write that down right now. And
Well, I love
before
you,
we
Joe.
start the episode, hey, what has everybody been playing? A Ford.
I have been playing quite a bit of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess.
Woo!
As you do. I just got done with the Snow Peak Ruins, which I don't even think Schweiss has gotten to yet.
No.
Yeah.
Don't presume to know what Schweiss has done.
Well, because I feel like when he gets there, he's going to bitch about the guy with the ball and chain, because like I had to look up how to hit him. Because his weak point's not obvious in the slide. Like, because normally with Zelda games with the weak points, it's they like show you 18 cutscenes that show you and then like red arrows at the thing that you're supposed to hit.
Yeah.
And this guy
it's
just
like almost as obvious as Resident Evil, where it's like, oh, shoot the giant eye that just came out of that guy's back.
yeah. But then like this
He's
one,
made of steel, but there's a giant fleshy eye. So shoot the eye.
That's it.
this one doesn't do that, and like he's got a big ball and chain that he's swinging around, and you're in like a very narrow room, so it's already hard to like dodge him. And there's like a way you can that I won't spoil for Schweiss, but like dodging him was the one thing. It's like figuring out how to get him vulnerable to hit him was another thing entirely. So I feel like you're gonna bitch about that when you get there. I messaged you about it last night.
The Sand Dragon was kind of that way too. Like, I mean, it was actually really easy, but
Oh, you mean the
I was
stalwart
like-
or whatever? The big.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
doing the little spinny, and then you hit him going like 3 miles an hour, and it's like, oh, and it chucks a huge like vertebrae off. I'm like, what? How did that even damage him? I'm going like a mile per hour.
Look,
on
if
this
you get
little
punched in
spinny
the
thing.
kidneys, even if it's not a lot of force, it's gonna hurt. You know what I mean?
I guess, but
Like if you're attacking his spinal column directly with like no muscle and no anything to like cushion the blow.
I guess yeah. And it's probably already in pain because I doubt he has any cartilage left.
Well, he
It's
does.
just fucking bone on bone down there.
Yeah, I like that boss fight though. That boss fight's fun as shit.
That's actually A4's favorite porn genre, is bone on bone action.
Yeah,
Yeah, get
it's
to.
like it's kind of like docking, but you just put them side to side, and then one person jerks off both dicks.
No, it's the well, that's called frauding. But no,
Oh.
it's that fucking video.
The disappointed O was like,
No, I'm imagining bone on bone action is that video of those two kids pretending to be Kingdom Hearts characters in that mall parking lot with all the snow, except they're just hitting each other with dicks instead of like umbrellas that are folded up. You ever see that video?
no, because I
No.
don't know porn.
It's if you want to see real good Kingdom Hearts cringe, it's just these like two high schoolers pretend fighting in a mall parking lot.
Is it as good as that one guy who did the Captain Bosch thing?
What, the Mega 64 one?
Yeah, that was fucking funny.
The one I'm
Stay
talking
away from my
about.
family.
Dude, they just put out like their like ultimate Blu-ray collection at the beginning of the year, and I ordered that, so I will be getting that on Blu-ray along with like every other sketch they've ever done. So I'm excited for
Nice.
that. No, but the Kingdom Hearts one is funnier unintentionally because it's just so like 2006. You and some high school friends got a camcorder from the school, and you went to a fucking parking lot, and the one guy's standing on top of a giant snow mound pretending to be Roxas. It's fucking hysterical.
We got to send you the old Caleb Craig Joe YouTube videos.
I've seen the
good ones in there.
Benucci or
They're
whatever,
so-
the Nerf gun one.
The best one.
Oh, there's-
is when
there's
Craig
more.
is in
I'm sure-
prostitute.
yeah.
The
I remember you
candy, I was laughing so fucking hard when you guys showed me candy.
Oh
It
yeah.
was so fucking good.
Despite being like
Note.
a fan and friends with you guys forever, I have not seen Brokeback Bakery yet.
Brokeback Bakery is also amazing. Why don't we have a screening, guys? Let's have a screening on Discord.
That would actually be a good idea.
It was so fucking funny.
Just pick a night and get everyone here on the Discord, and just
I feel
someone
like
shares their
Joe-
screen.
Joe has this, like, he wants to be a filmmaker, but he is. And it started with Brokeback Bakery. That is his. that is his. It's there. Like, it's amazing. I gave it, the 2 thumbs up. Like, it's just what it is. It's the best film I've ever seen. And
There's some
Joe
old
just-
ones that are even older that sound just like what you just described, A4.
Yeah.
It's like there's like one where Craig is basically James Bond.
I have to see that. That sounds
It's like,
incredible.
what is it like? Bames John or something
John.
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you guys are so stupid.
It's John.
That's so-
Bames John, dude.
Say it right.
We have once you go fat, you never go back.
I'm sorry. I'm just
Yeah, that
picturing.
one's-
I'm picturing Craig trying to like shoot someone with like a pistol with a silencer, and he misses. He's like, "What the fuck?" Like he just gets frustrated.
It shows his hands and they're like fucking shaking like crazy. Come on, dude, just fucking die. He's got the guy on the ground. He's like shooting him in the arms and legs. Like, oh, fuck. Just die, dude.
Give it to me, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, it's all on my YouTube channel. You can go to Joseph DeGollier YouTube channel, and everything's on there. You can
Honestly,
go
you should, like, they should, because, like, honestly, Brokeback Bakery, there was the Note one and a couple others that they showed me, and I was fucking laughing. I was dying the whole time.
There's like a couple of Indian guys that, like, when I search Brokeback Bakery, it'll like send me their spoof of Brokeback Bakery, and that one's pretty funny too. It's not a spoof of Brokeback Bakery. It's a spoof of Brokeback Mountain. It's like 2 Indian guys.
I would
That
love
was
to see
bad,
a
like
gay Indian guy because Indian guys are already like the horniest
Brokeback
people on the
Mountain.
planet. So to see like a gay Indian guy, it's like, oh sweet baby, oh show me that dick, show me that penis, oh
It's just behind him like, oh, I wish I could quit you.
show me that penis and balls, please. I need to see them.
It was pretty funny, yeah. I thought it was great. It was like, man, is this going to be like my autoplay now on YouTube? It's just like, oh, here's Brokeback Mountain spoofs.
I wish I
all
knew
you
how
get
to
now.
stop. I wish I knew how to stop you.
I'll put the playlist in the.
You should.
Discord.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
So I've been
I've anything else before?
So I've been playing Twilight Princess, obviously. I also, just like a couple hours before this show, I started Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne.
Do you have to play that too?
I'm pretty sure it's an Uber game. I'm pretty sure we all have to play it.
No, it's
No,
not
Joe
an-
doesn't have to. Joe decided he
Three.
didn't have to.
Well, I definitely,
people.
I have to
was-
play it. So
Joe saw that I had the most games and said, here's one more.
That's not why it was. I think it won 2 of the.
Joe said, look, Zach has the most
votes or
games. Here's
something.
one
I don't
more.
remember. There was a reason.
No,
we
it
did
was
that.
something. Yeah, it was something like that because we had the, yeah.
either way, I'm playing
was-
Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. And I'm not out of the hospital yet. I'm in like the post world ending version of the hospital.
Oh, so you're in, yeah. So you're still in, not
Shinjuku.
Shibuya. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm like probably close to be able to go fight Fornius, the big manta ray in the lobby.
Oh, yeah.
The annex, but I haven't gotten there quite yet. But I have recruited a few demons. It's good. It's basically just Persona, but a lot more obtuse. Like there's that fucking moon gauge at the top left
What
of the
does that
fucking.
do?
I don't know. Like I thought.
No idea.
Because at first it said 5/8, and I'm like, oh, so it's like Persona. That's like what day it is. It's May 8th, and then it started going up and it turned to full moon in the span of like a minute, and then it goes back down to like new moon in like 2 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I guess.
I think it has something to do with like the attacks or like the odds of you running into things. It's because it says like.
But then your compass at the bottom turns red when you're
Yeah.
about to get into a thing.
No, I know, but it's like if it's at a certain time when you do get a random encounter, like the odds of certain things increase. It's something like
Here,
that.
I'm going to look up real quick.
No, actually,
I'd rather not know.
I kind of want to keep it as obtuse as possible.
Yeah.
I'm not
that's
kidding.
I don't want to. I don't want to learn.
But yeah, cool game so far. It definitely. The problem with that character designer's like earlier works is that everyone really suffers from same face syndrome. They all have like the fucking like eyelashes and like the kind of the droopy eyes, but it still looks pretty cool. It's just it's a bit weird playing a game from that series, like because Persona's a lot more lighthearted by comparison, so it's just weird playing one that's kind of got like all the levity taken out of it.
Rapist in the 5th game, lighthearted.
You know what I mean, though? Like, because most of the game is just like, haha, fun anime times, going to school, watching movies, see if you
I've
can eat
never
this
played
big
it.
burger. And this one's like, the world ended, and there's demons everywhere, and all this shit. And it's like, all right, I guess. I mean, I don't think I've played any of the
There is a talking cat in this one too.
Oh,
there is.
shit. Well, there you go.
I
don't know if
he
it's-
hasn't gotten that far yet.
I don't know if
when
it's
you
the
leave-
same one.
It's
when you
probably
leave
not the same one.
Well, this one. So I looked
I
it up
mean-
because I was interested in what you said. I guess Persona it started as a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei, but I don't know
Yes.
if they're in the same universe.
So I don't think they're in the same universe, but like they're definitely the same series. But I always joke that like, yeah, so the first Persona game came out, Persona 3 FES for the PS2, and there was a couple more games after that, and there's also a spin-off series of Persona called Shin Megami Tensei, just to like kind of rile up all the, the JRPG purists.
Yeah,
I think the
which
only
is
other
easy to do because they're all autistic. So
Yeah.
like, it makes sense that they would get upset.
I think the only other Shin Megami Tensei game I played besides this was Devil Survivor on the DS, and I didn't get very far in that. But that's like if Final Fantasy Tactics was mixed with Shin Megami Tensei, so that one's interesting. But yeah,
Yeah, it's not bad, but like it's just weird because it's like Digimon, but like on like cocaine.
I mean that's what Persona
like
Persona
they
is
were
basically just Pokemon with demons. So
Yeah, it's like, well, this demon's just you got a huge
Anus.
dick.
Yeah, we were talking
And then
before the
this
show
one-
about all the sexual imagery in this game, which I mean,
But no tits, all dick, like just flat out dick.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's there, and it's her, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why are we always getting cock, but no
Yeah, you
tits?
think
Like,
one
tits,
is
tits
like,
are like... Tits are like the baseline.
I can't even
Because
see-
like Conan Exiles,
and then they skip
Conan
it, and
Exiles,
they
you
jump
got
all the way
tits.
over. Yeah.
no, you got dicks in Conan Exiles too. You don't,
On
but I do.
PC.
Yeah.
But on the PlayStation, they even there, they're like, we'll let the tits out. So like
Which is-
tits are like
yeah.
the low hanging fruit. That man ass is the lowest of nudity. Tits are next.
I'm not really a big
And
fan
then
of when
dick.
the tits are low hanging fruit. I'd rather them be kind of like perky and shapely. You know what I mean? Not looking.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for like some fucking deflated water balloons here.
Although there is a ball sack in a Grand Theft Auto game, which was hilarious.
What in Lost in the Damned?
No, it was in 5.
Oh, they show a
There's a
dick in
part
GTA
where-
4 in the Lost in the Damned DLC. I thought, or Ballad of Gay Tony.
Oh,
One of the 4 DLCs. Has
Yeah,
like, a dick
I
shot.
wasn't gonna play a game called Ballad of Gay Tony. I'm sorry. I know I liked Grand Theft Auto 4, but I was like, I just kind of don't want to play that. Like,
I heard it was good, but I haven't played it yet.
But
So
I can't put my finger on it, but there's a reason I don't want to play the Ballad of Gay Tony.
yeah, it's the same reason why when I see women main characters in GTA 6, I'm a little like,
it's the same reason when I see women main characters in virtually anything that isn't an anime art style, I'm like, She's
That's why I
probably going to
chose-
tell me how like
Especially a real one.
yeah. Well, because then the problem is they're like because the problem then is they're never like they're not characters. They're just like, oh, look at me, I'm strong, and it's like, yeah, but like, what's your character? And they're like, I'm strong. Like, look at fucking.
I don't give a
I
fuck,
can
dude.
bench
I played-
205.
I played as Cassandra in Assassin's Creed, like the Greek one, and I fucked all the women because
Nice.
it's the way the Greeks intended it.
I mean, that's what I'm wondering though. Like, do you just get dick down in GTA 6 and you get like 125
I mean, it
health?
could be like Cyberpunk,
Or do you lose
Like
health? 'Cause,
137,
like-
or you can choose to like who you fuck. You can choose if you're gonna go with the women or the men. Like
The
I
fucking
made a chick in Cyberpunk.
Come on, nobody played that.
I-
Nobody
it was
played
fun.
that game.
It was fun.
Don't-
Shut up.
you're playing GTA 6 as the woman, but like at once every month in the game, you become way less powerful for a few in-game days.
Wouldn't you become like more powerful because of your anger?
Sure, I don't know. I guess it would just be like those drug sequences in GTA 5 where like your controls are all fucked up. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it'd be funny.
But yeah, I've been
No, I
playing.
mean, Oh, go ahead.
I've been playing Digimon 3 Nocturne, and I've also been playing. As a weird contrast to that, I've still been playing a lot of Pokemon Blue. I'm like way back in on Gen 1 Pokemon, just because it's kind of like nice. It's kind of like a nice warm blanket. It's comfy.
I hated it.
That's adorable.
I bought Blue on the DS, and I was like, "Fuck this, dude!" Like,
It's
you mean
a
I gotta
little-
sit here and grind for like 6 years.
It's a
I'm
little hard to
good.
go back to, but I don't know. I just have such a deep nostalgia for that game that I don't really mind.
Yeah, I had fun when I went and replayed Red. Like it was just, it was. You're right. Like it reminds you of simpler times of being in the car with your parents driving home from somewhere and trying to like hit all like the street lights to see what's going on in your game real quick.
Yeah, except
Like,
I have a Game Boy Advance that I can with the brighter screen. So
I
it
mean,
doesn't
but
matter.
I do as an adult too. But like, it just reminds me of like that time, or like.
Yeah.
It just
baking
reminds
sick, like,
me
I
of
called
good-
My mom and said I was throwing up, so I could go home and play Pokemon Crystal version.
Reminds me of good old summer vacations, and then I go, wait a minute, I only have 20 item slots, and they're not even sectioned off by type of item. Ooh, okay, well, I'm putting all my
Yeah.
TMs in the PC for now.
You know what it reminds me of? This one time we were camping, and it was Cody and Cody's brother Zach, and we were doing a BB gun fight, which is a terrible idea. Like, truly terrible. Like, we got BBs like ripping into our skin. Like, I shot Cody in the head. like right between his eyes. He had like a fucking pellet in his stuck in
And
his
every
skin.
time I see Jigglypuff, I just remember when I just pumped fucking Cody full of BBs right between the
I got
eyes.
shot with a BB like right under here, and it fucking stuck, and it was like It was bad. Bad news.
It hurts. But yeah, and then for some reason Cody's brother was fucking retard, dude. He had like a cookie in his hand. It was like a chocolate chip cookie. And he shot it point blank, and it like took a chunk out of his fucking thumb, dude. And he like went berserk. Like he just fucking like grabbed a fucking I think it was like a shovel or something, and he like beat this tree stump with it until it broke, and then he like raged and like went off into the woods.
Okay,
Yeah, he
wait,
just
hold on.
fucking blew a piece of his finger off.
What does this have to do with? What does this have to do with Pokemon?
Oh, because I was playing it when I was there. I think I was playing Pokemon Silver.
That is the best
Stay on
fucking.
topic here, dude.
No, that was great. That was a good like connection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking like chunked finger.
And I'm trying to beat that fucking Miltank for the third gym leader, and I look up and fucking he's just going ape shit on a tree stump.
Yeah.
Half a thumb.
Yeah.
Half a thumb. Fuck.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's basically all I've been playing.
Don't do that. Don't do BB gun fights. It's really not safe. Like,
Don't do BB gun fights.
they will break your skin, and they it hurts.
Me and my friends used to play airsoft back in high school, back in the woods. So that was fun. I remember that.
Yeah, that's not as bad. Those still hurt, but they're not like
Yeah,
they're not
metal
like taking
BBs that's stuck in
pieces
your
of you.
fucking-
Yeah, you're talking about like metal BBs, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm talking like straight up BB and pellet gun. Like
yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
You come up over the hill.
And, dude.
Didn't
So
you
when
say
I
you
got
never
shot in the
at a
face,
gun?
who?
A4.
No, I've shot a gun.
You shot a
A4's
gun?
kind of-
Yeah,
What?
yeah, plenty of times.
Who the fuck were we talking to that had never shot a gun? And we were like, we got to get you out here to shoot a gun.
I mean, I don't often shoot guns, but I have shot a gun in my life.
Oh, you know
I
what?
don't think
It
you
was
are. You're kind of
Crinitol.
limp-wristed. I don't believe that for a fucking
It was
second.
Crinitol. That's
How?
what it was.
How has Crinitol never shot a gun?
I don't
Did you
know.
go shooting with him when he was down there? Because I know.
No. That was like part of it was like, oh, at the end we're like, oh crap, I should have brought you to the range or something. But no, we never did that. Sorry, I cut you off, Zach. Go ahead.
No, you're okay. It's okay. I just got shot in the face, and I wasn't supposed to play with BBs at the time, and so I went home, and my mom's like, "What the hell happened to your face?" And I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "What do you mean I don't know?" And I was like, "I don't know." So I was walking, and I slipped, and I fell, in a pile of rocks, and it stabbed me. She's like, "It's a perfect circle," and I was like, "Oh."
You're like, actually, it's Pussifer. Mom.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're like, oh, I love that band.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that second album.
Yeah, just
First
got
one's
my ass.
good, but it's overrated.
Anyway.
All right, what about you, Zach? What have you been playing?
I have been playing Shin Megami Tensei 3. I beat Matador yesterday, which I thought was going to be way harder than it was, because of how everyone said. And he is hard, but you have to know how to beat him. Did that. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I've been anticipating this Matador fight because that's gone down in history as like one of the fucking like fuckiest bosses. And
So, well, me and Schweiss talked about it yesterday, and because I was like, I really kind of don't understand it. And what Schweiss said was like how early you fight him in the game and like what he does, and like it's fair. Like I had to go, so I lost him the first time, and then I went and I grinded a bit. And then I went and fought him a second time, and I lost the second time, but it was because like I didn't have enough chalk. Make sure you have chakra beads to like do your magic. I only had like 3, and I used them all, and I just didn't. I needed effects to like beat him, and it didn't work. So then when I lost to that, I hurried and went, and I bought like 15 chakra beads, and then went back and I beat him the third time. So it's just like.
Who did you
I
buy them
understand.
from?
The dude in the underground.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever sellers in the Ginza underground. Just because I
Yeah,
didn't
the
want to have
fucking
to
like the
the
undulating
mannequins.
belly guy. Yeah.
God, the mannequins are fucking creepy. I I didn't want to have to run all the way back anywhere else. Like I didn't want to have to run up and like go back to like Ginza or whatever. Like it just didn't. I wanted.
I mean,
to
you
make
could
sure
teleport there, but
well, I didn't
but
figure
yeah.
that out until after last night. Like I was like dicking around and, dude, I was like a fucking jackass running back and forth from the underground all the way across the
man.
map. Yeah, so I found it out last night because I was actually like, oh, what does this do? Oh, that's fun. Yeah, so.
Speaking,
yeah, that's
Um,
nice.
speaking of teleporting, real quick divert. But I remember Schweiss sent us a voicemail or voice message in the Facebook chat about being pissed off that he can't fast travel in Twilight Princess. I'm assuming you unlocked the fast travel now.
Well, yeah, now that I can wolf mode at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just, oh man, it's got that Zelda like, and then the whole time I could just hear you being like, oh, I can get arrows whenever I want. I can get bombs. I just go, Link lawnmower service and I get bombs all day.
Yeah, you cut down the grass.
That must be nice.
Throw the pots. Whatever. Anyway. Sorry, Zach.
Fuck you. There's never bombs.
I have.
And then I get to the city, and the city's it's dark, and I can't fucking buy anything when it's dark. And then I look online, and it's like, oh, there's a cycle. So I leave it on for 10 minutes, come back, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I look it up again, and it's like, oh yeah, the town's time stays still in towns, and I'm like, oh. So then I go outside.
Did you
leave
not
it
play
alone for
Ocarina
10
of
minutes.
Time and Majora's Mask because it does that? Well, not Majora's
No,
Mask, but Ocarina
I
of Time
wasn't
does
paying
that.
attention to that.
Maybe you should have.
It just happened.
Hmm.
It just fucking happened as far as I could tell. And then I go outside and then I go upstairs for 10 minutes. I come down and I'm fucking dead. Because I got killed by a bird. I'm like, dude, I don't want to sit there and watch the sun go down or the moon go down and the sun come up. I'm sorry.
Do you not?
But I did.
Do you not get an ocarina in this one that you can play like the?
No, you find like little fucking reeds that you can play.
Oh, that sucks.
But
There's like specific reeds that you can use to call Epona, and then there's another kind of reed you can use to summon like an eagle that you can like aim and like throw. You use it like 3 times in the whole game. And then the other
Yeah.
musical aspect is like there's these stones throughout parts of the map that when you're wolf mode you can howl near them, and it like shows this spectral wolf that like is like if you go find where he is on the map after you do that, then you can get like a secret sword skill from like an ancient hero.
dude, oh man, like I gotta tell you real quick. I know this is your segment, but I did that and I had the wooden shield and I went to the one, it was like the first or second wolf dude, and I went to him, and right before I walked up to him, I got shot in the back with a fire arrow, and it burned my shield away.
So
And then it was like, the guy's like, oh, come back to me when you have a shield, and I'm like, I had a shield forever. And this asshole, like 10 feet away from you, just took it from me.
Yeah.
And then I went to go buy it, and I didn't, and then again, everything's closed because it's nighttime, and I'm like, God damn it, Zelda. Why do you do this? Like,
Did you get
oh,
that?
sorry, you're going to have to come back with the shield. I'm like, oh, you mean that thing you just ripped away from me moments ago?
did you get the Hylian shield? I'm pretty sure the
Yes, I
weird
got
baby
the
sells
metal
it.
one now. Yeah, the fucking Fukushima child
You sound
sells
so
the...
angry about it.
It's just like, God, it's such an inconvenience, these games. Like, this is the easiest Zelda game so far, for sure.
This is the guy who
Like,
wanted to
they're
do
always-
like a Zelda podcast in the style of UFF too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
I'd be down for
I
that.
did.
I would be down for that too, because like I appreciate good games, but apparently Schweiss is just like, God, and the arrows.
It'd
and-
be funny. It'd be funny to market it to be like the guys that brought you Nude Clan, and then it just like goes through like a movie.
From the guys that brought you Ultima Final Fantasy comes a podcast where we realize we don't actually like Zelda.
The descent into madness from the fucking Zelda games would be
That
so
might
fucking
have
funny.
happened on Ocarina. That might have happened. That would have been a rough time.
Well, I know you like Twilight Princess better because you have no taste, but I mean,
I like it better, too.
yes. Oh, is that because it's a better game, Schweiss? And it
Yeah, it's
plays
'cause
better and
Well, I also have like the feeling that I actually want to explore the world, which is why I have so many hours in it, because I have been. Ocarina, I don't want to explore that. It looks like shit. And like there's no like, oh, I got a new item. Oh yeah, I remember seeing this thing. It's like everything just looks like ass. And maybe it is just the time. And I know Ocarina is revolutionary and it gets its place for that, but like there's no call to adventure. There's no desire to explore. Whereas like this one, I'm like, man, I remember there was a rock up there, and it looked like there was a path behind it. So I would go do that, go blow it up, find something, or I'd get my new hook shot, and I'd go back to that douchebag orb collecting mini game, and I'm like, I'm going to try this shit and hook these fuckers, and it works. And like, I'm actually interested in getting extra things in this one. Whereas if it's not like 2 seconds off the beaten path in the last 2 Zelda games, I'm not getting it. Like, I just don't care. Unless it's bigger on sword, then I'll get it. But like, there's just no, like, the call to adventure doesn't exist in the other 3 Zelda games I played. The OG, Ocarina, and Majora's. And in this one, it is there.
Which is crazy, because people love those other ones, like hardcore.
I think you had to be there.
I was alive, but...
well, you weren't.
Majora's Mask.
A4, we all have games here because we've reviewed hundreds of games on these podcasts.
Yeah.
We all have games that were old, that we weren't around for when they were big, and then we played them, and we saw these are still valuable, and they're still great, and they're still great games. And then there are ones where you had to be there to enjoy it now. And that's what that is.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
It is. It is my opinion. None of these things are facts. I do want everybody listening to know this is an entirely opinion-based podcast.
Yeah. Technically,
we actually beat the games, unlike IGN.
So. We have to beat 65 more games for the show to say hundreds, though, technically. Because we only have 135
No,
games.
You and I, Caleb.
Oh, yeah. At this point, yeah, it's hundreds.
Oh, fuck off. I've easily beaten more than... my hog. I'm like king. I've been King Hog like every fucking year since I joined this show. Shut the fuck up.
But we're talking reviews,
Maidenless.
too. You can't just...
I have reviewed so many games. People just have not heard what I've had to say yet.
Yeah. Is that because they weren't listening, or is that because...
No, it's because I was screaming into the night sky and going like, Sonic Adventure 1 sucks, but I love it.
And then your neighbor goes, shut up!
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, shut the fuck up!
Damn autistic boys over there screaming at that hedgehog game again.
Yeah. Stupid fucking blue hedgehog.
I did not play Twilight Princess because I just got my Wii from my mom's house, and
What was your Wii doing at your mom's house?
I packed it with my Xbox One, my original Xbox, and my PlayStation 2.
I'm really mad you almost called it the Xbox One.
I almost did, but I lost Twilight Princess. I don't know what happened to it. So I bought it last night again. Mm-hmm. So I will see it this week. Yeah, I bought it. I was so pissed, dude. I was like going through like all my boxes in the basement, and I was like, it was here. Like I remember like putting it, but then dumb fuck, I didn't fucking put all my games together like a dumbass because I was trying to get out. So I have like a box that's got the Xbox 360, and the PS2, and it's got like all those games that I had for those. And then I had another box that had the Wii, and then 4 Wii games, Twilight Princess not being fucking one of them. But I did find Super Mario Galaxy, so that was kind of cool.
It's a good game.
And then I had like another box that had my PlayStation 4, and I was like, fuck, I should have fucking put things together, but I didn't.
Sort of the same thing happened to me, because I like went down to my Wii game switcher down in the bedroom, and I was like, why don't I have Twilight Princess for the Wii? And I guess I sold it at some point. So then I went and spent $100 fucking on the Wii U version, because that's rare now for whatever fucking reason.
I fucking wish I would. I wanted the Wii U version because I want to play it, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe told me good things about the Wii version, so like I'm stoked on it.
It's pretty good. It's fine. Like I was gonna borrow the Wii U version from one of our buddies, but Joe gave me his Wii, his broken ass Wii, and Twilight Princess, and I'm like, it's here. I might as well just play this one.
The pointer aiming in that version is probably a little better than the gyro aiming on the Wii U version anyway. So
yeah,
I think
it's pretty good.
Honestly, as far as like Wii controls games are, Like, yeah, you're just whacking kind of wildly. I know that there are controls with like which direction you have to whack things, and it matters in one part of the game. But honestly, like Wii control wise, like it's a pretty smooth experience.
Yeah, so you'll be fine.
If
So
you're
I'm
worried
stoked.
about
I just like
the Wii
I've-
stuff aging, it hasn't been. It's
Yeah,
not that
and
bad.
that's I just heard like the Wii version was like the best version is what everyone says, but like I said, you guys have been liked it, so I'm like, okay, it makes me feel fine. But yeah, so I ordered it. I should see it at the end of the week, so I'll start it along with keep playing Shin Megami Tensei.
Nice.
I was feeling a little bassy, so I bought Bolt Gun.
Oh, nice.
Which is a Warhammer Doom clone, pretty much. You're just
It's like a
playing as
boomer shooter.
Yeah, you're playing as a Space Marine. That's like same graphics as the original Doom. I haven't played a lot of that, but I played a little bit of it last Sunday, just in the morning, and it was fucking fun. Like I had a lot of fun with it.
Heard good things about Bolt Gun. Not really into Warhammer 40k, but I imagine you as a fan probably are like getting a lot out of
Fun.
it.
It's really fun, dude, and it's like it kind of like gets me back into like one of my favorite parts in like the Doom, at least in the new ones, is in Doom like Eternal, and Doom is just finding, like the secrets and like little like, just random shit. So that like brings it back again. It's just kind of scratches that itch. I wanted to play Doom Eternal again. Well, Doom is 2016 and Doom Eternal. I wanted to replay those, but this is scratching that itch, and it's something new that I haven't experienced already. So it's like
Nice.
super fun. Trying to think of the like things that I played before, because I haven't been on like a month almost. I played Spider-Man 2. That was really fun, actually. A little too much Mary Jane to play as for my taste.
Fucking our mutual friend Ether, he was watching a playthrough of it, and just all the scenes where you're playing as like Peter Parker going on like a date with Mary Jane and all this like non-Spider-Man shit. And he's just like, I wish I could take this footage and just put the word Spider-Man on the screen to show the juxtaposition of what I want to happen versus what's happening right now.
Well, it's like, I don't know, like I get that they're like trying to like do like, like the more like human side, like this is what's going on in their lives or whatever. But it's like, why would I want to go from like Spider-Man like whipping shit and like throwing people with my webs and swinging around the city, and then going on a bike ride with my best friend?
Because they're trying to make it a Naughty Dog game.
I can do that in real life.
Every Sony studio now has to do like has to do Naughty Dog. They have to do this fucking like Oscar bait bullshit.
Playing as Mary Jane in the first game was fine, and it had its place in there for like the stealth thing, and it was fine for the one mission that I thought I was doing it as, because it like set things up and it answered questions that hadn't been answered yet in that game, and like kind of like set Kraven up more as a villain more than he already had been, and that was fine. But then you continue to play as her and other things, and I'm like, I just want to fucking fight Venom. Like, why am I playing as Mary Jane? Like, I don't want to be Mary Jane. I want to be Spider-Man doing these things.
Yeah, this
And,
is a
like,
superhero game, not a girl doing errands game.
it was like fun. Like, again, like I had fun, and like her missions really weren't that bad, but it was like, oh, like I could be Spider-Man right now, like one of them. I could be one of the Spider-Mans right now fighting Venom.
Don't you get to play as like a
Fighting
deaf
Venom.
black girl who does graffiti or something?
I've seen that, but I didn't. I've seen that you can play as her, but I don't know how, because I didn't look anything up for the game, so like I don't. And like in the last Spider-Man game, I did like every single side mission because I treated it like a Batman Arkham game. In the Arkham games, like I do fucking everything, so I can fight
Yeah, they're
every
pretty
single
sweet.
villain. Which actually, they do a thing in this game that pisses me off. That pissed me off in Arkham Origins. In the Arkham games, for those who don't know, and you should know if you don't, I mean, I don't think Joe's ever played them, but I think Joe should play them because they're really good.
They're really good.
They're really fun.
believe
Is like you have your side missions, and it's like it focuses on like a villain, and like it's like a Batman villain. Batman's a ton of them, right? So it's like it focuses on one of them, and you
As opposed to a Spider-Man villain.
Well, I mean, like Spider-Man and you'd think, but Spider-Man 1, the PS4 game, is like out of all the side missions, like 3 or 4 out of like 15 are villains, and the rest are like, let's clean up pollution.
No, I
I
was making fun of the fact that you said that in this Batman game it focuses on a Batman villain. Like you had to specify. But yeah,
Okay,
anyway.
I mean, like, sorry, and it,
Yeah.
like, you do those things. I do them first because, like, in what is it? Or in Asylum City at night, you can tie up every single side mission before you finish the game and get to the point of no return in the boss fights. In Arkham Origins, it does not do that. You can't finish. It's the Riddler trophies, but it's called something else in that one. It's like the Enigma or some stupid shit. You can't get the last one until you've already fought on Arkham Asylum and fought the Joker on there. Then you can go back and you can find the last one and like stop like Edward, the Riddler, and all that shit. And
Wait, you
Whoa,
fight
you
the
almost-
Joker in
whoa.
the third game?
Holy shit! You almost doxed the Riddler, dude.
in Origins, in Arkham Origins.
What? He's dead in the second one.
Yeah, Origins is a.
He fucking dies.
Yeah, I don't know if you gain from the.
Origins
I don't know if
Oh,
Arkham
I guess
Origins
that makes sense.
kind of
with it saying
implies that it's a
Origins.
prequel.
Joker is in Night though in a roundabout way.
I mean, I did think it was crazy that they killed his ass at the end of the second game. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Well, because I thought that was because Mark Hamill was like done with the role, even though he's like, I
No.
need more money.
He's like, I got to go do a Star Wars movie, and then he does that. He's like, oh fuck.
Oh man, they had
Should have
me
kept the
drinking.
Joker thing going.
They had me drinking milk out of this weird thing's nipple.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So
Fuck.
what?
Yeah.
It's the funniest scene of that whole fucking movie. Is he just swigs a bunch of green milk from this thing's nipple?
You can buy those milk canisters in Disney World in the Star Wars.
I know. I want to do Galaxy's
You
Edge
get
so
to walk
fucking
up
bad.
to like, you get to walk up to one of the women sitting there and just like fill your thing up, and you're just like, and you just like look at your wife and just like,
Like as much as I hate Disney Star Wars shit, that fucking Disney World area looks fucking sick. I
looks
want to go
fucking
there
sick.
so
Oh,
bad.
it's so cool, dude.
So sorry, so I can finish my thoughts.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. So we can like go on. They do that in the Spider-Man game where like I was like, oh cool, like I got like there's a Mysterio thing, and I was like, sick, I'm gonna do all these. And so then I did. I think is it 11 or I can't remember if it ends at 12 or 15, but I got to like the second to like the last one before like your final thing, and I was like, why isn't this showing up? Like this, I lied. I did look up one thing. I looked up this because I was like swinging around as like Miles, and I'm like, dude, these Mysteriums aren't showing up. Like, what the fuck? Like, I just did all these. I'm like, did I have to get like gold stars on everything? Like, I just kind of fucked around. So I'm like, maybe I need to go back and do that. And I had to look it up, and they're like, oh, the last one shows up after you beat the game, and that's fucking bullshit. I hate that. I fucking hate that. I just let me finish shit before, like. So I can have this finality to this. And like, that's why they don't do it, I'm sure, is so you can keep going back. But it's like, I want the story to like have a culmination, and if I can do this stuff along the way, then like end it. It's like, okay, this feels nice. But I hate it. I hate when they do that. And like, I get why they do it, you know, like the longevity of the game and like wanting you to go back and keep playing after. But like, to me, it's like I wanted to finish it and be like, hey, I've done it. Like I finished it. Like there are things they needed to finish. You know, and then fight the final like big villain of the game. But that was my complaint with that one. But I don't think I played anything else. Just those. I bet I was out of town a lot of like pretty much almost half.
Yeah, I know. We fucking deported your ass again.
Yeah.
But
Show off your
Turns
fucking
out neither-
souvenir.
Turns out neither country wants him, so
Yeah.
so I'm
he just kind of bounces.
I'm kind of in limbo right now.
Yeah,
Hey,
kind of
sits on the
bounces
fence.
back and
We're
forth.
gonna try the Caribbean next and see if they'll take us.
Yeah. Good luck. So I played pretty much, I think exclusively Shin Megami Tensei. No, never mind. That's not true. I played Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne I'm like 15 hours into that or something.
How
And
much
then-
farther are you than me? Because
I'm kind of a lot further.
really.
Yeah, how many hours do you have in that thing?
I'm like, I think last
Because
time
the save will tell you. Fuck the switches about because that's stupid. Nintendo had it down, man.
I know.
It's like
well,
getting the
again,
save.
wait, where do you-
SMT3 is a
where do you find that
JRPG.
at?
It's when you go to save. Your save file will tell you how many hours you have in the game.
Oh, playtime?
Yeah.
I'm at 11 hours, 47 minutes. I thought that was the time because, like, I saved it.
No,
and,
it's a
like,
JRPG.
The one time shut up. The one time I saved it, it said like 10 something, and it was like 10 something at night. Like it legit. I was like,
that's funny.
Yeah, I was like, cool. I didn't realize it was game time. That's funny. Yeah.
No,
so
it's a
I'm at-
JRPG. By default, JRPGs all have a fucking like
Shut up,
playtime
before I don't
thing.
play
Yeah,
Wii
that's-
games.
That's why I was like getting annoyed with you. I was like, how many hours you got? Oh, the Switch says about this. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what the Switch says, bro. How many
I didn't
hours do you
know.
have?
The
So, yeah,
Switch,
I'll
the
let
Switch
you know.
is
Nintendo.
the Switch's game timer for Shin Megami Tensei 3 for me just has a fucking question mark and the pi symbol.
Got a middle finger and it says tell Schweiss to shut up. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, I mean, but like, I've done a shit ton of grinding. Like, I've been running around fighting like a ton of stuff. Like, because I didn't know what to expect out of this game, and I've heard it's hard, so I'm like, I'm just gonna keep. Sorry, speaking of Valor, I mean, I'm finding that out. Because, like, the Manta Ray boss wasn't hard. Like, it was.
No, I lost to. I think I lost to him once, maybe, or I died after I beat him. I think I died after I beat him.
Oh, that sucks.
I didn't get to save.
So I beat him the first time, and I ran back and saved, and then came back out. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing this.
I didn't know that save was there until after I beat him the first time and then died. And then I was like, okay, there's got to be a fucking save point in here because this is too far. And there was.
But
it's one of those games where it's like all the hallways look the same and you're like, okay, I want to
really
find
does.
the hallway that's not the one I need to go in because I want to try to save.
I'm currently lost in that sewer because it all looks the same when I'm trying to get out to Ikebura or whatever. But, like, I'm just lost. So I'm just, like, fighting whatever comes, and I'm like, I'll just keep grinding until I can get my way out of the sewer.
Oh, yeah. Just
that all
keep
looks-
going in the parts that you haven't explored. And
That's
you'll get out.
exactly what I'm doing. Like, I just retrace my steps now to, like, go back and just find my way through. But I mean, it's been fun.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at the guide, and so I went to. Once you get that menorah item, you can go to like the place where you put it back in, and that's kind of what you get.
I went there.
That place is fucked up, dude. Did you walk around there? That place is hard. I was like, oh my god. And then I look at the guide and it's like, you don't need to go here now. Don't go here now. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Fuck. I was like, I don't think I could beat this.
Dude, that's what happened to me too. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, this is way harder than I thought. And then I was like,
yeah.
And I like ran back and like I read the guide too. Cause I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I need this. Like, they're like, get the 11 menorahs. And I'm like, fuck, this is a long game. Like, let me check this out. So I read it and it was like, you can do this as like you get the true like demon ending or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not doing that now. Like,
yeah, I'll go back and put them in when I get a couple more.
And you know what? This is going to be a pre-spoiler for when we review the game. I am going to give, like replayability a higher score because I think I do want to do like another save and then like later on in the game and then go back and do the menorahs and see what that final ending is. Because like honestly, the fights have been fun. The game's been fun. So it's like,
yeah, the dialogue's kind of hilarious too.
The music kind of sucks too.
Yeah, there's some great voice acting. Like it's funny. It's weird. Yeah. It's an odd game, but
I like how.
But yeah, I've been playing that.
The survivors are like just like it's your friends, and you're like, okay. I don't know how you survived, but okay.
Yeah, you seem like kind of a pussy. I don't know how you're still alive.
Yeah, the dude with like his little queer hat, and like was like. He's just like, you're like, oh, you're alive.
Like I didn't realize, like the gays made it. Really?
What did you do to survive?
How many dicks did you have to suck? Yeah. How many demon dicks did you have to suck?
I bet you met some of those demons pretty closely.
Yeah, their dicks were not just hanging out; they were hanging down.
The one, what was it? Like the the guys you fight in the hospital. I like the first time they jumped out, I was like the one that picks you when it lets you in that door, and they like you fight them for the first time. I was like, I was like, is that a dick? And then like the second time I fought him, it like jumped in front of my screen. I just see this like little like fucking where's my camera? This little like fucking hanging thing in front of my screen, like it just paused in front of the dick. And I was like, it's a dick. Oh, this is the fuck.
Yeah, they got their little wieners, little micro peens.
It's dangling, dude. It's so fucking dumb. I don't know. This game is so averse to titties, but just throws cock in your face, dude. Like it's
weird. It's like the opposite of God of War 1, because like God of War 1, they wanted to give the Cyclopses cock and balls, but they weren't allowed to. But they got tits everywhere. It's like you can have one or the other. You can have penis or you can have tits. Like, what's it gonna be?
It was like we're doing cock.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, well, God of War already did tits, so we could do cock. Someone's got to do cock.
Just the amount is jarring because I did not expect it going into this game. I didn't expect all these peens everywhere. But I'm telling you, like that one demon that's just like floating back, and he's like leaning back, and there's just arced sharp dick is just out there in the open, and it's just like, why?
Yeah, he's like, did you see the hot chick in the fountain?
Did you see her? And you're like, no.
All I can see is your dick.
And he like just like touches the tip, and you're like, what are you?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway,
it's a pretty fun game though. I'm liking it though.
Fun. I think it's really fun. All right, so
it's kind of like a basic. It's kind of like a basic RPG, turn-based, but it's got a zany art style, and it's got the Pokemon, Digimon style of like fusing monsters. It's cool.
Well, yesterday when you were like, "What
so
Digimon do you have?" I was laughing because like I was thinking Pokemon when I was playing. I'm like, this is fucked up Pokemon, dude. Like.
Yeah, I almost said fucked up Pokemon, but then I remembered that Digimon is officially the fucked up Pokemon. It's like Pokemon rejects. But yeah, it's better than the Digimon games I have played, so that's good. Like, I only played the 2, but god damn it, I did not like either of them that much.
Oh, damn, those 2.
Really? Because you bring up Cyber Sleuth like all the time.
Look, the soundtrack is in a league of its own on that Cyber Sleuth.
Oh.
Like, there's some crazy shit in there. Like
that soundtrack did on me.
The menu theme I still can like do from memory, and I have not looked it up or done anything with Cyber Sleuth Africa's memory since. Like that thing was shelved and never touched again. I don't even know if I own it still. I've probably moved it 8 or 9 times in the last 6 months, and I don't even know if it still exists here. That's how little I care.
Do you have Armored Core 4 answer?
Yes. You know what's crazy?
I've that thing.
Yeah, we could do that at the end. What's crazy though is that game is like $50 at that new used game store in Pleasant Grove AF.
Oh, you were telling us about that. I want to go see. I want to go look at that place.
That place is awesome. They're really cool. They have pretty good prices, which makes me like scared of the Armored Core price. That one's like that much, and then there's a physical copy of the PS4 port of Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and it's $50. And I'm like, god damn, there's like 2 of the worst games of all time, and no one's buying them. They've been there for like 8 months plus, dude, and they're like expensive as fuck. And I'm like, no one's gonna buy this shit. Like, you realize this, right? Like, these games are terrible.
One of the games that I'm like super like surprised about is like Pokemon. So you know how like Nintendo like discontinues games. Pokemon White version 2 is like getting up there. It's like
I don't understand
It's crazy. eBay's got it for like 140. People are selling it for 300. Retro games are selling it for 2.
Yeah, even our Final Fantasy 4 Heroes of Light on DS, like that one's kind of up there now. And I'm like, dude, I paid like $20 for that new.
One of the things
it's like
that was
40 something.
That's crazy. Because like, I mean, it's Nintendo's thing where it's like they discontinue it, and like I was looking at, or I got someone on Instagram that I follow. He's like a big gamer and stuff. That I actively know. He just he works at GameStop, and he posted a thing and was like, hey, like buy your copies if you don't have like Fire Emblem 3 Houses, buy it now. Nintendo is discontinuing it this year. And it's gonna like around the next few months, and it's gonna be harder to find. And I'm like, sick. That's like one of the best. Like, it's known as one of the best Fire Emblem games, and I own that. And I'm like, hey, cool. I'll get to start having these expensive games in my collection.
Yeah, or like when I bought Zelda, because I bought Breath of the Wild, and it was like fucking thing was like 3 years old, and it was still like $45. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, dude! Like they're still selling for $60 if you go to like Walmart and shit. Like new,
it's like what? Yeah, it's like fucking A, man. Like how many? This thing sold like 20 million copies. Can't you just fucking drop this a little bit?
Well, like,
is there no greatest hits? Like what happened to that? Dude. Those are the good days.
Well, it's like
where the poor people could get the games too.
It's still $60. And then they released the sequel that's $60, and they're like, "Yeah, you choose." And it's like, "Fuck you!"
It's like, what the fuck?
There's no reason. for it to be that
Yeah,
expensive.
like,
There's not.
just make the new one $120. Just do it. Just go ahead.
Yeah, give me a choice. Yeah, just fucking.
Yeah, but
Well, I went through and bought a bunch of the Fire Emblem games for like DS, like before the Nintendo like DS like the store closed. So I'm like, I wonder if those are going to jump up in price too. Because
what you should have done is gotten my buddy was telling me about this, like the DS, and then gotten like a DS with all of the versions of the Pokemon, and then Pokemon Codex, because that's the only way you can get that is download. And I think it's shut down now. But
Yeah,
if
they
you would have
shut it
got
down.
that, you could have probably sold it for a lot, because that's like
that'd have been nuts.
there's no getting it.
And
I was like, oh, that's a cool idea, and then I never did it.
Yeah. That's a thing, dude. Like, there's so many things you could do with like that shit. Like, honestly, like, I was at this game store here in Salt Lake, and they had like the one I saw like when they were selling. It's back when I bought Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I was like looking at their other shit, and they have like one of the original like Pokemon Game Boys, like the Game Boy Color that was like pink or purple, yellow, and then like the back was blue, and it had like the Pokemon on the side. And
Yeah.
they're selling it for like $400, dude. It's crazy.
Jesus.
It was a lot.
Which store was it? Which one was it up there?
I don't remember. It's up here in Salt Lake. Let's see if I can.
Was
find
it like World Games? Did you walk in and like lose an hour and a half of your day?
That was what it was, because it's like huge, dude.
It's probably World Games.
Yeah,
That place is really overpriced, but like they have everything.
Oh, fuck, dude! I almost bought a PS4 when I was
Everything.
there. Like, or a PS3. I almost bought a PlayStation 3 while I was there. Because
Alex had to come in and find out if I was like still okay, because I was just like lost. I was like, oh my god, there's so many things. Like,
there is, dude. It's like huge, and they have like displays where it's like they have like a Final Fantasy display with like all those games, and they had like in like a glass thing that had like all their like sealed product for sale, and then it was like Pokemon, and they had like other like genres, like they had Halo, and then like a Legend of Zelda one. It was nuts.
Let me guess. All the Pokemon DS games are like $100+.
I was just talking about Pokemon White is going for like their like White version 2 is going for like $200 right
Dude,
now. And I have that with the case, and I'm like,
I'm so mad that I didn't play Black 2 or White 2 when they were new. And like now it's just like, okay, well, I gotta like take out a fucking mortgage just to play this game.
you do. And like I'm glad that I got them like for $30 when I did.
Yeah.
But one of the things
Don't
that
worry.
we're talking about. Sorry, no worries.
you've already played it. It's a Pokemon game.
No, I know, but like, I don't know. Gen 5 is a really good gen. Black and White are great games, and I've heard good things about Black 2 and White 2. I guess I'll never fucking know, but like...
It's an actual sequel, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
The first Black and White, or it's like actual like... But I mean, I guess Crystal or Gold and Silver are like actual like sequels.
The one thing I gotta wonder though is why make a sequel to...
That's why I didn't play it back in the day, because I was like, okay, so it's Black and White again, I guess, but...
They continue. There's a few different gym leaders, but they
Even
continue.
blacker? Like...
Yeah, even blacker. Once you go black, we don't go back to...
Fucking Uncle Slim says
it's
A4 looking like Chaz Finster from Rugrats. Fuck you. Chucky, I don't... Anyway, the only lasting impression that Black 2 and White 2 ever left on me was that it has Rosa in it, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, sorry, I got off on a tangent when A4 was gone, but Schweitz, you played Shin Megami Tensei 3, but what else did you play?
I thought you guys moved on without me.
No, we were tangenting.
No, we don't go anywhere here. I did a decent amount of Twilight Princess as well.
Nice.
Like 34 hours into that.
Jesus.
Dude, fuck
Yeah, I'm not very fast at these games. I found out.
I was like, you're not even
pretty
farther
slow.
than me. I'm like 15 hours in.
And you said you were exploring, so I mean, if it's what you want to do, like that's.
Well, he also said last time that like because he was already like 10 or 11 hours in and he'd like barely beaten the second dungeon. He just told me like he leaves the game on sometimes, so that'll put that number up pretty good.
It's maybe a couple hours, but I usually never do that. But with this one, it's like sometimes I gotta go take care of shit. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, did that, and then I drove down to Cedar City yesterday, which is about a 4-hour drive.
You went and saw
then
Joe?
I sat on Joe's tiny couch, and we played Mario Sports
what
Mix.
you were gonna say. You said tiny.
By the way, did you guys put out the Melody of Memory review? Because I don't think I saw it on my feed.
It's there.
Yeah, it should be out.
I'll have to double check.
Yeah, we probably just blocked you.
It's there, and so is Mario Sports Mix.
No, I got the Mario Sports Mix
Yeah.
one, and I'm like, I was expecting the Melody of Memory review, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
we played that
maybe
for
one of the
6
12
hours.
Kingdom Hearts reviews that came out 4 days apart from each other. You just probably missed it.
Probably.
Yeah. Kind of like I missed that chunk of my life. It's just gone. I don't know what happened.
Oh, yeah, that 2-week chunk
All
of
I
your
know
life where
is-
you played every Kingdom Hearts game known to man.
Yeah. That was crazy, man. It feels like it's been like this year, 2023 feels like a decade. And I didn't even really do that much. Like, it just feels like forever.
We're just like, Schweiss, what do you remember about 2023? It's just like a picture of Schweiss, like inside his head echoing. You just hear Goofy going, Boyle!
Did you beat 3 yet?
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're done with
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts.
they're all done.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't even remember what happened in those.
And
Yeah,
you're
it's been so
still
long.
Many such cases.
Not only are you still straight, but you didn't shoot yourself, and I am color me impressed.
Zach, we beat
You're here.
9 Kingdom Hearts games in less than 3 months.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
We had Kingdom Hearts 1.
That's horrible.
Kingdom
Joe
Hearts 1 we
Howard.
beat in January, and then the rest of them we beat October on, I think.
Yeah.
Fucking, and are you in therapy? Like, what? Can you look at
No.
ice cream the same way? Like, I don't understand.
Not really. Actually, I kind of can't. That one's real.
Fucking Alex is like, we're going to Disneyland, and fucking Schweiss is convulsing in the corner. He's just like, I'm not going.
It's like,
He's eating one of those like Mickey Mouse ice cream bars, and he's just like, I swear it tastes salty. It's not just me.
He's like on like the fucking the pirate swing, and he's just
I did it
extremely attack
saltier.
you can do and like shit. Like, fuck.
He's sitting on top of Cinderella Castle in like a black robe eating ice cream. It's like, you're not allowed up there.
With his just got like chains hanging off him, and he's just oversized shoes. He buys like size 15s, and he's just hanging up there.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
I have
wow.
a podcast. Got it memorized.
Yeah, I was about to say. By the way, I have the version of Chain of Memories that you guys actually want now. I have the Game Boy Advance version.
We don't want it.
You know what I mean,
I
though.
don't want it now.
You keep it. You keep it.
Look at Joe's like, I've had enough.
That's fine, man. Chain of Memories on GBA is totally a decent game. It's made by the same people that made The World Ends With You, aka the greatest game ever made. So, it's all...
You said God of War 2018.
No, I'm pretty sure I spoke correctly.
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
I don't know. I played God of War 2018, and it's...
Okay, we
you
gotta
all-
get this. We gotta get this
Schweiss,
fucking thing moving
Schweiss, did you
along,
play anything
bro.
else?
No.
Okay, Joe, what
I
did you
did
play?
6 hours of that, and then that's it.
I also played 6 hours of Mario Sports Mix over the last 2 weeks, which meant one day. I stopped playing games. So outside of that, like I played 1 hour of Xenogears, but that was before the last episode. So yeah, that's it.
man.
Mario Sports Mix, and I've been
Is that a
doing a whole
Wii U
bunch
game?
of filmmaking stuff.
Xenogears is so good, dude.
Oh, you played it, Zach?
I mean, I started it. I haven't beat it, but I played. Is that the one with
No idea.
Oh, I'm playing a Xenoblade. I think it's Xenoblade. Sorry, not Xenogears. Sorry, Xenoblade.
Yeah, that's like a spiritual
Sorry.
sequel when the guy left Square Enix. He kept on making his Xeno movies.
cool.
Movies.
Or sorry, games. I'm so used to
He made Xenogears, and then he left Square, and he's like, fuck it, I'll make Xeno Saga. And then no one played those fucking things. He's like, fuck it, I'll make another Xeno Saga, but with blackjack and hookers. And he made Xenoblade Chronicles.
I love Xenoblade, dude. So good.
That
Anyway,
was
okay.
supposed to be one of the games we reviewed, but one of the hosts that was supposed to review it quit.
I know.
And I'm like, I'm not playing it.
It's a shame, because Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is really good.
I've enjoyed what I've played of it, honestly.
Don't care.
Anyway, so that's all I played. Did anybody beat a game?
I beat a game last year that I didn't get to tell you guys about because I was
All right.
Okay.
Spider-Man 2. So that was my last game of the year. I stayed up. So we were leaving on Wednesday. We were flying out Wednesday to go to Mexico. And then I worked Monday and that Tuesday. And I stayed up till 1 in the morning that Monday to beat Spider-Man 2 because I knew I wasn't going to get a chance to beat it that Tuesday. So I beat it. I went to work, hated my life, and then flew up to Mexico.
And then you hated your life even more.
No, it was fun. Mexico was rad, dude.
Yeah.
Mexico was great.
Sure.
I'm going to Mexico next month.
Where are you going? What city?
I'm going to the country. I'm going to Chihuahua to do.
Oh, if you see my grandparents, tell them to burn in hell.
I'm going to do a short documentary.
Cool.
Amongst the cartel. So
No shit.
I know, like it's an area that there's a lot of cartel activity.
For what? Like for work?
So we've had cameramen bow out because they looked up the area and they were like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do it. My wife will kill me," and stuff like that.
So
Yeah, I mean, are you guys going to place bets on who's going to roll up to the hotel in a cooler first?
So anyway,
who are you doing this with?
my friend Caleb Hatton, who's a filmmaker down here. He's wanted to do a documentary about the area for a while, so I was like, well, I'll produce it with you. We can do a short, and if it's any good, we can try to see if we can get funding for a feature. So we're going down there for a week and a half to film. We're gonna just learn about this guy's life, who was like a big time runner, because it's the Robert Murray people. If anybody read Born to Run, it's like this indigenous culture in Mexico, and like their big sport down there is long distance running. Like it's just part of their tradition, their culture. They got like these special shoes and everything, and they live in these like big canyons and these little villages. And there's a lot of poverty down there, and of course there's the cartels kind of pushing these people up into the mountains further and further. So we're just down there to learn about this guy's life and learn about the community, and we'll see if we can make anything out of it. But yeah, it's not going to be like a have fun in Mexico vacation. It's going to be...
That's terrifying.
We're going to be in the real Mexico. So...
That's
It's not going to be all. It's not going to be all margaritas and lazy rivers, Zach. It's going to be like the real shit.
And big hats. It's going to be coolers full of your fucking friends.
And little taqueritos that have Goku painted on them.
No, Senor Frogs.
We're friends with the mayor down in like the nearest town. So he's giving us like a guide and a guy to drive us around.
And
is the driver a cartel?
I'm not aware of that, but
why do I feel like this is going to be the origin story where Joe ends up in a situation like fucking 50 Cent Blood in the Sand, where he's got to like fight his way out of Mexico?
I was gonna say, is this gonna be like the start of the Nude Clan movie where we have to go extract Joe, like we get to go save Joe.
Yeah, we have to recruit.
We have to
recruit Ted Nugent to infiltrate Mexico.
Dude, we have to get the band back together. So we have to get Cameron and Craig, and then like every person that's ever been on. So like, what's his name? Jake's got to come, and then so I can see like Craig just walk like slowly up to this cartel guy that's like bleeding out. And he's like crawling away. He's like, fucking glitch, dude. Just like blows his brains out.
Well, the reason the cartel stuff matters, because usually they just leave you alone, or maybe you have to bribe them to drive through a road or something. But the reason it matters is because we have cameras, and they do not like to be filmed. And so, like, it's a thing where it's like, if you see a nice car, don't show that you have a camera or anything like that. And we're just two white dudes that look like white dudes. Like, it's going to be hard for us not to stand out.
So go in brown face. What's the problem?
Dude, you could be like Raiden from Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. Put a little...
Yeah, the sombrero and the poncho and a robot dog.
And they'll never know. They'll never know the difference.
That should go over well in this indigenous community where they dress entirely differently from that.
Yeah. You're like, you guys are from the city, aren't you?
Call them fake Mexicans. Be like, I'm part of the culture.
Oh, it's actually in this area, Spanish is not the first language. So everybody knows Spanish because they're in Mexico, but that's not actually what a lot of the people speak down there. So we're kind of like, I don't know. A lot of it is just we're gonna go down there for a week and a half and see if this is even a place we can film in. And we got to like walk to the village, and it's like a couple miles away from the town, and there's no road. There's just a trail. Like, I don't know, man. It's gonna be an adventure. I'm excited for this. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, so you guys, if you go to Mexico, go to Puerto Vallarta. The beach is nice. You don't have to walk to the hotel. The cartel didn't bother me. Yeah, it was fuck. That's sketchy as fuck, dude. I hope you have fun.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, I hope you don't get like sent back to us on dry ice or anything.
Oh, dude, could you imagine if they sent something to Nude Clan and just
Joe on ice?
Shit?
Yeah.
They sent us like Joe's figure, and we're like,
what the fuck is this? Oh shit!
oh no! Oh god!
We have your CEO. I'm like, what, dude? It's like we don't even make any money. What do you want me? What are your demands?
You can have.
We hear
one of the games.
Yeah, we hear you have the Manscaped 2.0 shed. We demand you send it to us immediately. Like, whatever you say, man, just as long as the rest of them comes back together and not like this figure here. I'll send you the lawnmower.
Joe, if you're ever in trouble, just tell me like Dragon Ball Z. They'll be like, "Oh, hermano."
Yeah, just be like, I love Super Saiyan Goku. And just they'll accept you.
Yeah. So anyway, let's actually. Is that okay? So are you the only one who beat a game, Zach?
Yeah, but I mean,
I technically beat a game.
You and I.
Shh.
Technically, I beat a game called Let's Find Larry.
That's not a real game. I can already tell.
It's a little indie horror game that I downloaded for $3. It took me about a half an hour, but I beat it.
Nice. You found Larry. Cool.
Yeah.
The fact that you had to say technically makes me think you didn't actually. It doesn't actually count, but whatever.
Look, it counts. Technically, it counts. You're not gonna be happy about it, but it counts. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry,
So
Joe.
what
sorry.
did you beat, Joe?
I beat Mario Sports Mix.
Oh, I beat that too.
Oh, cool. Write it down. Tell us who's winning. Or don't.
Is Mario Sports Mix the Wii U one?
No, it's the Wii. So the King Hog, or the leader of the Hog for the hosts so far. Three-way tie, Joe, Schweiss, and A4 with one game each. Zach, as per usual, the caboose with 0.
I beat one last year.
Cool. All right.
We counted it. Wow, Joe's a little spicy.
It's because I was accidentally cutting him off a bunch, like right now.
Getting on goddamn track. An hour and a half into this episode.
I thought you were supposed to keep us on track today. I thought, what the fuck?
Hey, you have notes.
I have notes. I do. But you know what? I let people banter, and they never think in the back of their head like I do, like, how long have I been talking? Is it time to move on to someone else? No, that's never
They're literally here to listen to us talk.
Never thought of by some hosts in this chat room.
You seem a little self-conscious, Joe.
So anyway, we're here to talk about 2023 and 2024 as well. 2023, how was 2023 for you, and what media did you consume? What was the peak of your media consumption? Now, I have these categories, and because I can't log into the Hogeb, of course, I can't actually see what all the categories were. So I put down the ones I could remember, but if you guys can remember any more, I will write them down as well. I believe that the categories were games, movies, books, albums, comic books, and like the fitness category. Does that sound right?
I think so.
Okay, I know we split books into like audiobooks before and shit like that, but because we weren't tracking any of this shit, who gives a fuck? So what I want to know from you guys is, I think I want in the back of your head to be thinking about what was your big highlight from 2023 in your life. But also, the first question I'm going to have is, what was your favorite comic book that you read from 2023? Of course, the only people that I actually believe would have read any comic books being Zach, possibly, and A4, probably. So, Zach, did you read any comic books this year?
I don't think I did.
Wow, not a surprise.
I read manga.
A4. Oh, you read manga? What the fuck? That's the same fucking category.
No, it's not. They're different.
No, they're not different. Oh my god, they are not different.
They're super different.
They are not.
They're different.
Different.
So
it is just a comic book that originated in another language, and you're just calling it something else. It's still a comic book.
That seems
Manga
kind of racist.
is the Japanese word for comic book. What the
you
fuck? Yes.
sure?
What comic book did you read?
I read like the entirety of Attack on Titan, and I finished off Demon Slayer. So, and Chainsaw Man, the comic with Chainsaw Man. And that was it.
Any of those worth reading?
Yeah, Demon Slayer's rad. They're all.
Chainsaw Man's really good.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man's dope as fuck.
The anime's great.
Yeah, they're all good. I enjoyed them all, honestly. It's nice when they have definitive endings. Honestly, like they finished Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan. And it's nice because you're not like reading something that's like continually going, and that's like, this has a definitive start, definitive end. Sweet, like that's it. Like it's good. Keep it.
A4, what was your comic book highlight of 2023?
Honestly, I picked up the first couple volumes of Fire Force, and I really liked it. It's a manga by the same guy who does Soul Eater, and it's about these people who like it's basically like this alternate timeline where people kind of like spontaneously combust, and they have like entire firefighter teams to suppress that. But the art's really good. I'm not really sold on all the characters yet. I think the main character's gimmick of like when he gets nervous, he smiles is kind of lame. But I'm excited to see where it goes.
Oh, you think that's lame? Yeah. That's a superpower, and you're sitting here telling me you think
he's got like actual powers. It's one of those anime things where it's like they drew him with like the smile and like the fangs and shit, but then like you find out it's because I smile when I get nervous, and I'm like, that's kind of a lame quirk. Like that's a lame personality quirk, but whatever, it's fine. Fire Force is cool.
Yeah, Fire Force is pretty sweet.
Isn't that a pretty common one though? Like I blink a lot, or I can't look people in the eyes, or I smile too much.
This is the first time I've heard it like
much.
called out specifically, where it's just like, oh man, when I'm nervous, I have this weird grin that I can't get rid of, and it's just like
part of like the story where they're
is
like,
weird.
they think they because like his family like died or whatever, like in a fire. And they're like, it was him because he was smiling when they found him, and it's like he was just like fucked up because he was like sad and like he couldn't like stop smiling because of his tick, and it's like.
Well, and there's also a character who her entire point is that like she has this thing called Lucky Lecher syndrome, where like her clothes fall off at the most inappropriate times, or like she'll like accidentally have someone grab her boob or whatever. Like literally, that's her fucking like character is just that.
There's
This sounds like quality entertainment.
There's a lot of fan service.
It's a lot of
No, shut up, Joe.
I'm
You watched
upset
the man
that I didn't read
masturbate
this.
To a beach. Don't ever. You don't ever
Look,
touch
he
it.
didn't
like that
You watched
movie.
him jack into it, Joe. You don't.
Wait,
get to
did he?
be all
Oh,
picky.
yeah.
You don't
I've-
get
I've-
to be picky.
I've contorted
Anyway,
that
yeah, you
so
were
much
telling me
I
that
was
like everything everywhere all at once has like a butt plug fight, and I'm like, I'm good, dude. It's fine.
Oh, that
it's
movie's
pretty
great.
funny.
I need to watch that movie.
If I can give one other example of a manga I read that this year that I liked. I read it before, but I was rereading Shaman King because they started putting out these like omnibuses of it, where it's like 3 volumes in one, and I forgot how much I really liked Shaman King. It's an old Shonen Jump manga from back in the day, and I really like the art style of that thing. It's fucking so cool. The idea of it, where you're like using these ghosts to possess his body, so you can like get their skill sets, is really neat.
What was the best album that you listened to in 2013 or in 2023. We gotta go back to 2013 for this. For 2023, and what was the best one that you heard this year?
Well, are you telling me that you don't think I read a manga this year? I mean, honestly, I didn't even read it
for some reason on that.
I don't even think I read more than 100 words this year. Like, I don't even read pamphlets. I just throw it away. I'm just like, fuck, dude, I don't have time. I instructions. No. Yeah, I don't read text.
Schweiss, we all know you read Black Butler. Don't pretend.
I don't even know what that is.
That's that Lee Daniels movie.
It's not what you think it is based on the name. That's for sure.
But yeah, no, you're right.
I just made a
right,
terrible joke, by the way. Terrible joke.
No, I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, it was a bad joke. That was like an A4 joke. I don't know why I was channeling you through me.
That was like an A4.
Because it's spreading.
Yeah, I guess so. The racism is spreading.
Yeah.
So, Schweiss, did you have time to listen to any music, though?
Yeah, I've been going through... I went through all of Metallica, except for about half of the cover album. I did disc 1, yeah, but I didn't finish disc 1. I don't think I almost did, but I stopped listening for whatever reason. I think at the end I'm gonna try to find a copy of Hidden Treasures from Megadeth, and then just do like the ones that kind of don't count at the end, because we're doing this thing in the back ground that's not really related to the
this thing that we talked about for like 4 episodes straight, the Metallica ranking.
True.
Yeah, so we're doing that, but we added Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. There's a tab for Anthrax, but nobody's put anything in yet, obviously, because I mean, who's motivated to do that?
Gives a fuck? No, that's not true, because I feel like by the end of it, I will have higher scores overall for Anthrax's albums than Slayer's. But that's because, like, Anthrax is more like
fucking bastard.
No. It's because Anthrax, like, they're very middle ground. Like, their bad albums aren't that bad and their good albums aren't that good. But like, Slayer's got high highs and way lower lows. Hell Awaits is a dog shit album.
No, listen to Show No Mercy. Listen to Show No Mercy.
Both of their first, their first 2 albums are fucking
Show
dog
No Mercy,
shit.
the first one?
Yes.
Oh,
that one's awful.
It's bad. Yeah.
Hell Awaits is actually, I think Hell Awaits is fine.
I'll have to re-listen to it. When we did that ranking on Twitter years ago, I remember Hell Awaits. I was like, my joke was like, it's like they're all racing each other to the end of every song. There's like no cohesion to it whatsoever.
Yeah, well, that one's actually longer though. No, that one's like the same length as the first album, but there's only 7 tracks instead of like 15.
No, so I don't mean like in terms of like how fast the songs are. I mean like the drummer. It feels like all the instruments are playing separately from each other. Like, it doesn't feel like there's any cohesion.
The only great member of that band is the drummer. Everyone else is not that good.
Right.
Like, Kerry King is a good rhythm guitarist, but he can't write a solo to save his life.
Right.
And I can't believe that over the course of their 30-plus year career, no one sat him down and said, look, don't you just want to write one solo? Like, just one.
Instead of just... like using your pick hand to do this and moving your hand randomly across the fucking fretboard.
Yeah, it's like, look, we know you're like a 5'7" fat pig. We know you got short little stubby fingers, but I'm sure you could probably fucking do something other than what you're doing right now. Because Kirk Hammett's not that tall.
Anyway,
I can't imagine he's got super big hands. And so like you can fucking, and there's songs where it's like, oh yeah, this is pretty good rhythm, but then the solo, it's just fucking like hammer-ons and just nonsense.
My point being, when they started slowing the fuck down and like South of Heaven and everything past that, it's like, oh, they're like actually playing songs now. Holy shit.
No, Rain and Blood, South of Heaven, and Seasons in the Abyss are the best ones. Now, it's the same thing happens to Metallica, where it's Ride the Lightning, I guess, Master of Puppets, then Justice for All. I think Ride the Lightning is better than the Black Album for sure.
When it comes to Slayer, for me at least, my favorites are the new metal ones. Like, I like...
No, New Slayer is good too. When you go God Hates Us All on, until the last one. It's actually good too. They had like a renaissance.
Well, I like the
where,
one
like, they
before God
sucked
Hates Us All as
for
well.
a while.
But God Hates Us All is fucking goated. That's a really good album.
No, that one sucks. I just listened to that one on the way home from Joe's house, and there's not a single song on there that I want to listen
I
to.
remember
again.
really liking it though. Huh. I'll have to see when I re-listen.
You also like Ghost.
Yeah,
Fair
Christ
point.
Illusion, the one after it, Christ Illusion is good. It has
Also,
a Grammy
that's my
song.
favorite. That's my favorite thing about Slayer is like half of their songs have the same cadence. Where like War Ensemble sounds like Christ Illusion, sounds like God Hates Us All, like Christ Illusion, God Hates Us All. War
Yeah,
Ensemble,
and they're
like
every
yeah.
their single like there's
Yell a phrase for the chorus.
yeah
Yeah,
the newest one.
Uncle Slam is Diabolus and Musica. That's the one I remember liking as well. Schweiss is saying it sucks.
No, dude, it's like it's not like worse than the first two, but it's next. No, the punk cover album is next because that one like always makes me angry because it's all just covers of
Slayer?
punk and Slayer covering a song. It's about as bad as you think it's gonna be, which is pretty bad. Oh yeah,
Hey, baby, one more time.
and like yeah, dude, it's stressful and like the original tracks on there are pretty good. There's like 3. Those are all good, but the covers, I'm like, and then when I was listening to it years ago, because when we were doing the Twitter thing, I was like donating plasma. Like, I got this big ass needle in my arm, and I'm like listening to this thing, and I'm like, God, this is just making me angry. Like, I've never listened to this before. And then on like the 10th song, it's like somebody killed himself today, and I'm like, I've heard this before, but it was not a Slayer song. And I looked it up on my phone. I'm like, oh, it's a cover album of punk. No wonder I hate it. Like, and it's Slayer covering it, and it's like, why would anyone ever suggest that they cover anything? Like, I like Slayer and all, but dude, that's just like that's like something you don't do. Like, come on, they could barely do their own music. Like, you want them to cover something?
I'm like figuring out that I don't think I listened. I don't even know if it was this year. I think the only new album I listened to this year was Avenged Sevenfold's shitty new album. I don't think I listened to any other new.
You.
I don't think I
Shitty new
listened-
album?
That
Excuse me? What
fucking
the
sucks.
No, that album's fucking
It's
amazing.
not.
What the
It
fuck
sucks.
are you
It sucks
on?
so bad.
Dude,
I'm willing to.
I don't
I'm willing
like
to
it.
assume that it sucks
Fucking
solely
good.
because it's an Avenged Sevenfold album. But
There's like 3 good songs on it, and the rest are trash.
Get the
It's-
fuck
I didn't like it
out
either.
of here.
It's
Get
not
the
good.
fuck out of here.
It's not good. They've lost
But
their way. They need another OD. They need someone else to die.
that's their
so they can write good music again.
second best. That's the
It's
second
not.
best album
You're
they ever made.
fucking- no.
Second best album they ever made.
No, you're
Nothing's
silly.
gonna break. Nothing's gonna kill City of Evil. But that is their fucking.
God,
it's a
I will
fucking
agree with you that
amazing
City
album.
of Evil is their best album, but this new one.
I also like the
dumb.
self-titled one, the white one.
No, that's a good album. That's a good album. But I'm telling you, fucking Life is But a Dream is fucking amazing. I
thought it was weird.
I love
was
that
not
album
good.
front to back. I've listened to it like hundreds of times now. I've let it loop in my car. I fucking love that album. I
God,
think you
dude.
guys are crazy. Look,
Not good.
it's not the band that you remember it being, but it's such an interesting thing that they did.
But I don't really
I
like
think
that
it's
band either, though.
Super creative. I love it. I love it. I honestly,
The best Avenged
So
Sevenfold
good.
album is not as good as the worst Ghost album. Let's just put it that way.
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Metal is getting stale. Like there hasn't been something that's shooken it up, and I'm telling you, this shakes it up.
It does not. It in the pisser. It's not good.
I could definitely
It's not.
definitely show you some metal
It's
bands
not
that are
good.
shaking it up.
I was so stoked to listen to it, and then I was like, good thing I
Nah,
listened
I
to
hear
this
metal
in
bands-
my car and not
I
on my
hear-
flight home, or I'd have been fucking ranting in the fucking plane.
I think that the album as a whole is just a piece of art. Like the whole thing needs to be listened to as a whole,
Front to
Like,
back, basically.
it's a front to back album. There's like probably like 3, quote unquote, like real songs in there that don't need to be listened in sequence. And those are the singles. But like the album as a whole, from the beginning to the ending piano piece that's played. I thought it was amazing.
It's
Avenged,
like,
if you're
I'm
listening
glad.
out there, I'm backing you up.
Oh, I'm happy you
That
liked
thing
it.
was fucking.
I am. Like, I'm happy that you can like it. But write better shit, Avenged Sevenfold. I miss the old days. That's where we need to be. We need to be in City of Evil days. That's what we need to be. And it's
Nah, Avenged Sevenfold. You got to go back to the first couple albums. I like the death metalcore shit.
The fucking Rise of the Seventh Asshole or Trumpet or whatever is awful. That thing is unlistenable shit.
I just
No, A4, no.
I think
know,
I
I'm
remember
fucking
their
around.
second one. Their second one being okay.
Second was pretty good, yeah. Unholy
I just can't
Confession.
believe I didn't like listen to like any new albums. Like I guess I
Waking the
listened to
Fall,
stuff I
I think.
thought was new.
Does it
but
have
was,
to
like,
be
last couple of years.
Does it have to be an album from this past year, or like can it be something?
No, I usually
So-
do one of each.
Yeah, your favorite album that you listened to this year, and then your like the best one from this year.
Yeah, so I guess the best one from this year for me, the only one I listened to that was from this year, I think, is the new Metallica album. I think. I don't know for sure if that's the only one, but
Was
I think
that
it
this
might
year?
be.
Am I
Because
losing my
Megadeth's
mind?
was last year, wasn't it, Joe?
Megadeth was not last year. It was like the year before.
2022, right?
Yeah.
I think
Oh
the new
yeah, no.
Metallica one's
Sorry,
better than the new
72 seasons
Megadeth one
was this
anyway.
year. Holy shit. Fuck.
Yeah, it's not the best Metallica album,
It's good.
but yeah, it's good. It's like a little homage to each era of Metallica. Although the title track is basically the same exact song as the fucking title track of the last album. Like the guitar and all that, it all sounds almost the same to me. And it's not like a Schism Vicarious thing. Maybe it is a Schism Vicarious thing. There's something in my brain that's like, no, this is cheating. This is the same song. Like, you can't just alter it slightly, change the lyrics, and then
I totally
release it.
disagree on both accounts. I don't think those songs are the same at all outside of its verse, chorus, guitar solo, chorus. I don't know, but okay.
But it's a good album. It's all right. I mean, I think that's honestly the only thing from this year I listened to.
All right. Well, I got mine lined up here. I already wrote everything down, so I'll give you guys a second to think. So, albums wise, I started kind of going through Rolling Stone's top 500 albums of all time.
Oh, that's cool.
So there was a couple of those that I clicked off. I finally listened to Adele's 21. That was a pretty good album. I'm
That is a
I'm
good
a
album.
little behind the 8 ball on that one, but I listened to it. I heard a lot of the songs. But
Right.
I heard the whole album. It's a very good album. However, the standout on that list so far was like the first album I listened to when I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to this 500 albums of all time thing. And it was Extraordinary Machine by Fiona Apple. I wasn't ready for that one to be as good of an album as it was. I was like, well, I've heard Criminal by Fiona Apple, and that was pretty much it. And then I listened to that thing, and like the actual song Extraordinary Machine, I'll play that thing all the time. I just love that song, and I love that album. But the best out, the probably another really good album that I heard was when I got my mom's record collection.
That's cool.
I've been
too.
going through those, and I listened all the way through the Mamas and the Papas. If you can't believe your eyes and ears, which is the album with California Dreamin' on it, but the whole album's really fucking good. So that was another one that kind of stood out to me. Now I do like 72 Seasons a lot. It's not my favorite Metallica album for a long time, but I mean I would rather take either of their other albums kind of over it before this one, but I do like it, and I really like the song on Amorata and a few other songs in there. But honestly, Zach, my favorite album of 2023 is Life is But a Dream.
Wow, you're wrong, and that's okay to be wrong.
Get the fuck out of
It's okay to be,
here!
it's bad. It's not good. Joe,
Hey, man,
it's not.
You gotta listen to it all in a row. No breaks.
I
and
did.
Don't do anything else.
I fucking did.
Don't even do anything. You lay on
Joe,
your bed. And you listen to that thing with
I
good
listened to it
headphones
twice.
on.
I listened through it twice. and it's not. I can't do it.
Oh my god, you're so dead wrong. It's so good.
I'm not. It's you. Schwartz agrees that it wasn't good. You have 2-1, motherfucker.
3-1 because I don't really like
Oh,
it.
shit.
But
Oh shit, the new Godsmack album came out last year too. It's better than the one before it, but not by much. I've kind of accepted that like they're not that bad. But like there's just nothing that stands out to me. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like,
All
it's just like meh. I don't know. It's like Slayer. It's like, well, there's a bunch of really good Slayer songs. There's some like 8s and 9s, but then there's a lot of 7s. Like there's just whatever. It's fine. And I've kind of accepted the last 2 Godsmack albums as fine. They have like the new one has 2 songs that I think are really cool. 3, one of them's not that good of a song, but it's cool what they did at the very end of the album. It was kind of a cool little like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then it was over. But yeah, that one came out too. But 72 Seasons is definitely better than that. I mean, it's not like he released a solo album this year or anything, and it's not, cracking the top. But that's fair. What about you, A4?
so I had to do a little bit of research quickly to figure out like if I even listened to any albums from this past year. As an honorable mention, I want to mention Cracker Island by Gorillaz. I have not heard that whole album, but
haven't heard it.
the songs I have heard I do like. And it kind of reminds me of like older Gorillaz, like Demon Days, Plastic Beach era. I don't think I listened to this whole album yet, but there's an album from a Pittsburgh like deathcore band called Signs of the Swarm, and the album is called Among the Low and Empty, and those songs hit fucking hard, dude. The first 2 tracks on that fucking punched me in the gut, and I had the privilege of seeing them live last month, so that was awesome. But I think for my favorite album of this year, and I guess it kind of counts because like it's like a double album, and I think the second half of it came out this year. Let me just double check to make sure I'm not talking out my ass here. When did that?
Am I about to be put to sleep?
No, well, you wouldn't like it, but there's a band called Red Vox, which is fronted by the streamer Vinny Vinesauce, and they kind of do like sort of like classic rock type stuff, sort of grungy type stuff, but they put out a double album called Visions and Afterthoughts this past year, or at least Afterthoughts came out in like March, but like also the double album like officially released this year, and that's really good. Visions and Afterthoughts is fucking great. And as for the album that I listened to probably the most this past year that wasn't from this year, although it is from like 2021, there's a black gaze band called Deaf Heaven. Black gaze being a combination of black metal, so like the screeching vocals and all the reverb from the guitar and shit, mixed with shoegaze, which is kind of like that sort of ethereal, dreamlike sort of instrumentation. They had an album a couple years ago called Infinite Granite, where there's almost none of the harsh vocals, and it's a lot more like pop oriented and sort of like a lot more approachable than their last few albums. But Infinite Granite is really fucking good. If you just kind of want like a dreamy, sort of warm, kind of ethereal sounding album in that space, it's really good. I really recommend Infinite Granite by Deaf Heaven. As I see Schweiss roll his eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
all.
we were supposed to say what like our like album that we liked the most was. So I'm sorry. I listened to a shit ton of Dio this year. Like
nice.
A shit ton of Dio. I fucking love Dio.
Yeah.
But the 2 albums I listened to the most were Holy Diver and Master of the Moon. Like just fucking good. And then a smattering of Killing the Dragon. But like I listened to a shit ton of like, and that's why like I didn't like listen to a lot of like new ones this year, is because it was like fucking like Dio and then Black Sabbath are like always ones that I like fall back on a lot. But I got into in November, like December, I kind of got into a Kill Switch Engaged mood because I like, is it Jesse Leach? Yeah, Jesse Leach, like. I like his voice, so I like in the way he sings, so I kind of got into I fell into a little rabbit hole of that.
Mm-hmm.
But Spotify also has a thing now called like the DJ, and it's like an AI DJ, but you play it on and it like does like all these songs, like songs that I forgot about. Was kind of nice. Like that's been my last.
It's a cool feature, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. But yeah, sorry.
All right.
Classic albums, real quick. The best ones I listened to. I think South of Heaven by Slayer was completely underrated in my radar. I think it is top 3, probably Slayer. I like them slowed down because Tom Araya has kind of like an eerie, kind of weird voice. And I think when he's singing, it's actually not bad. But when he's just... it just sounds like that. So it's not that they are terrible when they're fast. It's just they're mostly terrible when they're fast. But those 3... Rain and Blood's fast as fuck, but Rain and Blood's actually good. But South of Heaven and Seasons in the Abyss, those slowed down kind of Slayer albums, really liked. And South of Heaven was way better than I remembered it being, like way better. I thought it was fucking sweet. And South of Heaven, of course, is probably the coolest riff they've ever come up with. I think for sure, actually, the opening for that.
That was the song I learned.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then the other one was Euthanasia by Megadeth. There's only like 110 on there. But everything else on that album is like fucking 8s and above. It's
a
really
solid
good.
album.
Like it's fucking solid. It is not as good as Rust in Peace, obviously, or Countdown, obviously. But I think it's better than everything else, for sure. There's no doubt in my mind.
No. There's many doubts in mine.
I remember really liking a lot of Euthanasia. Yeah, I agree with Twice.
I do support euthanasia in the older population. I did actually listen to a 2023 album that wasn't Avenged Sevenfold. Sorry, Joe, give me 1 second. I listened to Death Album 4 for Metalocalypse, and that was definitely way better than Avenged Sevenfold. So.
Fuck out of here. Oh, you know what? I was going to make a jab about Ghost. So today I was at Walmart. And I saw that they had like a whole fridge of a new energy drink that I had not even heard of or seen before.
And it's called Ghost.
Guess what? It's called Ghost.
Yeah.
And I figured it was probably the band supplying their fans with something to keep them awake while they listen to their music.
No.
Best served chilled with album on.
I don't think I've ever had Ghost.
Especially... In parentheses, it's like, especially if you have anything to do after you get done listening to the album, otherwise you'll be asleep.
I don't think I've ever had Ghost Energy. I know they have like a Sour Patch Kids flavor.
You never had Ghost Energy. Ghost never gave you any energy.
Oh, bull fucking shit, dude. That cover of Jesus, He Knows Me is awesome. Fuck off.
Dude,
I've probably heard it, but I can't think
I
of
had
it.
like a metal playlist going on Spotify, and then it just suddenly like it was a Ghost song as I found out, and I was like, what the fuck? What am I listening to?
Although I did
Why
have
do they keep up putting this in the metal shit?
I agree
it's
that it
fucking-
probably doesn't belong in the metal
boring.
shit. I agree.
Like, it's boring ass, like, it's slowed down Def Leppard music.
Well, there was like
fans.
I swear I
That's
sent this.
what it
I
is.
swear I sent this to you, but there was like a YouTube video. It's like what these popular metal bands sound like to people who aren't fans. And when they got to Ghost, it just played ABBA. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to Slayer, the song before it.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, I agree. I don't think Ghost really belongs in like a lot of the metal playlists. To be
They
honest,
just have skulls
that's
on
why
their face. Like Kiss is the same way. It's like
who the fuck said that Ghost was just Bon Jovi for metalheads? And I'm like, yeah, it's not wrong.
No, I think the best.
Bon
I think
Jovi
my
is way
thing
more
is
fun.
Yeah, Bon Jovi I actually like. But look, I just think my elevator metal is like the best way to describe Ghost. It's metal music for elevators.
So crack yourself open some Ghosts so you don't go to sleep, and then you can listen to Ghost, and then they can make some more money.
Anyway, did you try the Sour Patch Kids flavor? Because I want to know if that's any good.
I didn't
For the Ghost
try it.
drink.
I just saw the shit.
He's not going to support anything that says Ghost on it. You
I guess
know?
not.
Yeah, just in
Absolutely
case.
not.
So we're never going to
Just in
review
case
Ghost.
it actually is.
I don't even think of the idea of ghosts when I hear the word ghost anymore. I think of the fucking boring ass band.
I think I just get drowsy. I just get sleepy.
Falls asleep.
It was like,
Oh shit! Ghost Energy has a Warheads flavor. I'm going to be all over that shit.
Oh.
So what's the next
God, what are you,
category then,
11?
Mr. Joe?
Who doesn't like sour Warheads?
fuck?
I don't know, man.
It's awful tasting candy, and it hurts you at the beginning. Well, why would you?
Then you're not gonna be happy to know that
It's
it was.
something to dare other kids to eat. Like, hey, do you want a piece of candy that tastes worse than all other candies you've ever tasted?
Dude, my thing for Airheads, I remember like when I was a kid, they were like, I had a fucking like a Sunday school teacher like that's the candy she gave out, and so you'd be like
Warheads
walking
or Airheads?
Yeah, you said airheads,
Warheads.
but you meant
Warheads.
warheads. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Warheads, and so you'd be like getting ready to walk into fucking primary, and you're like,
Everyone's all fucked up.
Joe is gonna be really upset to hear that within the last year I had a can of Four Loko Warheads edition.
Oh man, I
How
just
was
remember
it?
the blueberry.
It was
chips
bad.
was awful.
Dude,
And
when
the
I broke my
flavor
fast
sticks
on
with you, like I haven't had that
Yeah,
shit in like
oh,
10
yeah.
years, but I remember what all those Warheads tasted like.
and like the pain, you don't forget.
Dude,
the pain.
I loved sour Warheads. I still do.
Why would
I
you do
do-
that when there's like fucking gummy bears? Like there's a million Reese's. Like there's
Yeah.
a million other candies.
Because I was extreme, Joe.
choose-
Okay, I was
It's gonna be
extreme.
like-
Whenever I tied up,
Oh yeah.
whenever I tie up my girlfriend with shibari like bondage, I use Nerd's rope. Okay, because I'm part of the extreme '90s generation. So you can fuck right off.
I do love the Nerds rope.
Road.
Nerd's rope is.
Yeah, dude, I on Halloween we broke our little diet fasting thing, and I had a bag of sour Skittles, and dude, I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital. My fucking stomach felt like something was just eating it from the inside out. I was like,
It was.
oh my god, like,
Dude,
dude.
I
heard a while ago that you're not supposed to eat those, and I'm like, yeah, I think I agree.
Newsflash: you're not supposed to eat any candy. But also, I do believe that Skittles. I think there was some country in Europe that like was like, this isn't food. You're not allowed to sell this. Like they did like the chemical breakdown of it, and they're like, this is not for human consumption.
Schweiss will be.
This is a
We can't allow
carcinogen.
this.
This is completely unrelated, but Schweiss will be happy to know that I bought Spam for the first time today.
Spam is good.
Oh,
shit,
nice.
Dude. Spam
Fry
is
that
great.
shit up with some rice, bro.
Woo, yeah, and then Reese's.
It's more like
In that-
I don't.
it's more like for emergency rations in case the power goes out. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, you're supposed
I
to have
don't
a
think
huge
it's
storm on
good,
you.
but
In case the power goes out, spam.
It's just their like fucking thing. It's like emergency lights going off. It's like, man.
would I eat that shit of my own volition if I could cook anything? No, not really. But if I'm huddled around a kerosene heater and the power's out, yeah, I'll crack open a can of Spam.
Hey, Ford, do you have a fireplace?
No. I haven't. I'm in a townhouse. I share 2 walls with neighbors.
I don't fucking know. I've never been to your house, motherfucker.
Maybe you should come out here.
dude, you know what's
Maybe I
you know
will.
what you yeah, you know what's amazing to have? It's a fucking gas stove. Like it cooks so much faster than like electric bullshit. So like I could cook Spam if my power went out because I got fucking gas. Dude, that shit is like it's like legit, man. I had a fucking bitch ass electric oven for like and stove for like the
Yeah, I
last
took
10
care
years of my
you. I
life.
remember that.
Yeah, and now it's like you got to be on that shit, or that Spam is gonna be fucking gone. Like,
I don't know, dude,
it's-
because
it's awesome.
We got a new electric range and oven last year because our our old electric stove and shit like went out, and this shit boils water like super fast. Like I accidentally burnt the shit out of a bunch of bacon last week just because I like had it set at 6 when I probably should have had it set at like 4 out of 10. That shit's ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe mine just sucked extra bad, but man, gas.
Could be.
Don't ever let them take your gas stoves.
No, I got a little I got a little propane stovetop thing for camping just in case just in case I want to heat up the canned tuna in case the power goes out or whatever.
I would just eat it raw. You could do that.
I mean,
with the
I could
Spam,
do that too.
Just
I'm
don't think about. Just don't think about the gelatinous fat on the outside of the Spam, and you can eat it raw.
Yeah.
Just do not think about it.
I just want to have the option, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So, our next category is books for you readers out there, or you book listeners on, let's say, Audible. Audible.com/Nude Clan.
Does that even still work?
Probably.
I don't know. Probably.
Oh,
yeah.
audibletrial.com/Nude Clan. Excuse me.
That one definitely works.
For anybody who wants a piece, who wants
Get
to
a free
give us
book.
a piece of your books.
Piece of your what?
a piece of your books.
Oh, I thought you said piece of your puss, and I was like,
I
damn.
think we make like 50 cents if you buy a book on there. So,
I want the whole kitty.
of all the books you read this year, what were ones that like really stood out to you? I actually read one book from 2023. So,
Oh wow, aren't we sophisticated?
Oh,
it's not
did
that
you
sophisticated of a
read it
book.
with your bubble pipe and your slippers next to the fireplace and your easy
All right,
chair? You
yeah.
fucking
All right,
freak.
and your
All right, you
lensless
fucking
glasses.
Aim into
All right.
a peach.
All right, you fucking pornographic comic book motherfucker.
Hey, I would rather
Some
read
real
pornographic
books.
comic books than be gay. So I mean, like,
You know what? I love that. I love how that all goes together. You were talking about how much you love Warheads, and then you said that comment, which came from what, 2004, and yeah, there
Uncle
we go,
Slim
there we go.
says,
And you
"Hey,
don't fucking-
wait,
and you don't fucking read.
wait. Uncle Slim says, "Hey, I like porn."
We all like porn here. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying there should be a little bit of shame.
Oh, I have plenty of shame.
It's
It's not
all
like I'm
bad.
telling my family about all the porn I read.
Yeah,
Read.
just everyone
Okay,
that listens
so,
to the
Manga.
show.
What part of manga? Whatever. Anyway.
All right.
Joe, yeah, let Joe talk.
So, in case I accidentally, because I don't track my books like I used to, I got rid of my Goodreads account. So there is a possibility I have some overlap.
You got rid of your fucking Goodreads account? What are you like cleansing everything?
The only thing left is Facebook.
And your colon.
What you kept Facebook over Goodreads, bro? What the fuck? Goodreads is not a social media site. It's a fucking book cataloging site.
I don't give a fuck anymore. So I don't want any distractions in it.
My God.
And I guess we could talk about that in the 2024 shit. But the best book that I listened to in a long time was on my Harvard Classics list, and it was called 2 Years Before the Mast. And it's just this journal of this guy who decided he wanted to work on a ship for a couple years. And it's like a slice of life of that period in time, in which, you know, they were like on this big trade route, and he was on a ship, and it's amazing. It's an amazing book. Like there are parts of that book that like really are beautifully written, beautiful passages of the book. Like it's insanely fascinating to listen to hear about the time period. And to hear about like the ins and outs of like being on a ship in the 1700s,
Surrounded by all those
And-
seamen.
and it is incredible, like incredible. And then I had one of my friends when I was like, "You have to read this book." Actually read it, and he also was like, "That was one of the best books I've ever read." Absolutely worth reading. The best, so some other good books, they're not like great, like well written or anything. One of them was from this year, was I actually, when I was doing all my running and I was jogging, you know, for hours and hours on end.
No, I don't know.
on the
Describe
weekends.
jogging.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jogging is only
that
hours
fast
and hours
walking?
on end for you. So I listened to both of David Goggins' books. And
Oh,
I
wow.
really liked them. And there's some hard hitting books, and they're really good and really inspiring, and they really fire you up. So I listened to Can't Hurt Me, and I listened to Never Finished. And there was like one like chapter of Never Finished that I like recorded and then had to send to a bunch of people. And was like, you have to listen to this. Like there's a lot of wisdom here. So yeah, I went on a whole David Goggins like deep dive while I was doing my jogging. It's just listening to podcasts, and I was listening to his two books. Honestly, those books are great. So,
Would you say you were Goggins jogging?
Yeah, I was Goggins jogging. Yeah, I could go with
The
that.
fact that he didn't want to say it but still did.
I could hear his brain shut down for a second. He's like, "Am I going to acknowledge this retarded
Like,
ass fucking?"
is this too retarded to respond or just retarded enough?
So when Joe was like saying he read a book called 2 years before the Mask or whatever, I thought he was gonna give you shit about porn and say he read an adult book.
Yeah.
That was one of his
I gave a very quiet chuckle to the name.
Yeah, I was like, what is that, like 10 years old? Like right before I got my first, well, I guess it'd be like 8, right before I got my first Rager. It's like, damn, 2 years before the Mast.
Oh,
It's like a diary of that period.
The
It's
Mask
like,
is
dude,
my
and then
favorite
the last
Jim
chapter,
Carrey movie.
where are you going?
Where he
The
puts a cock ring on and his dick turns into a cartoon.
That's what I don't want to hear about any uncle's shit. Like we do not.
Dude, I thought it was
On
like
the
a
podcast.
10-year-old being molested. Like that's.
Oh,
what I-
no. Fuck. And then I had to think, I was like, no, I had boners when I was 10. And then I was like, how far back do I got to go?
Yeah, 7 for me, but
You guys don't keep a
Yeah,
boner diary?
Yeah, dude, that thing would be, I'd have volumes. I still have like the virility of like of my 15-year-old self, dude. I'll just like get them randomly, just like kind of starting to fall asleep.
NRB.
It's like if I'm getting drowsy, that shit is like fucking.
So
And I'm like, all right, I got to go into work now, so I got to like wait a minute and think about things that are not good. So I think about like Arby's roast beef.
sometimes I take Blue
fucking-
Chew just to assert dominance over other people. Like I'm not even having sex. I just want to have a huge fucking boner when I walk into the Walmart.
I just like. I feel like the worst part about what Schweiss is saying is when you're like, "That really." You're like, what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that you said.
I mean, it's
Can we not?
like for no
can't I not
reason,
want
though.
sex?
Yeah.
No.
I love
Yeah,
that you
I
say
kinda get tired
you'd
of
have
it.
volumes.
Costco, Joe.
You'd have
No,
volumes
I'm
of
just
a dick
like, really?
diary. Like you bring over someone and they're like, "Oh, what's this? Encyclopedia Britannica?" And you're like, "No, those are the
that's-
boner diaries."
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah. It's like, it's just full of tally marks. I'm like, well, yeah, I was practical. It's just fucking lines of 5 for like book after book after book.
There's 28 volumes of this. Yeah,
That would be
Oh, yeah, I get
the best.
a lot of blood
like,
flow.
I've been doing this
would
since
be
I was
cool.
like 11. What do you want?
You need to do that for real. Go buy some leather-bound books and just start doing tallies, and then just put them up. So when someone asks,
Wait, what was that brand of like leather-bound girl diaries you found at Target that I sent you a picture of like a couple of years ago? I was making, oh, holy shit, I found the fucking girl diaries you were talking about. Do you remember?
Oh, it was like a planner thing, but like I didn't realize it was like a chick planner.
Yeah.
I just thought there was some weird stuff in it. I was like, why would I put that in there? It's like menstrual cycle. What the hell is that?
It was like Cupcake or something. I don't remember, but I
Yeah.
remember,
Oh, it was. It's Cupcake. It's Cupcake.
yeah, but I
It
remember
is.
like going to Target and seeing that and just sending you a picture like, oh, it's the thing.
I found it. Yeah, mine was black. Okay, so like I just wanted a black one.
So mine wasn't
little-
gay.
I wanted a little black book that I shoved in my back pocket and wrote
that I
shit
chart
in.
my menstrual cycle on.
Yeah, and it gave me that. Okay.
"Oh, Joe, were there any other books that stood out to you?"
No other books that stood out to me, but I do want to mention there was a brief period of time. It lasted about a week where we were supposed to text the word gong, like we hit a gong, if we got laid. And Caleb Schweiss was the only one who got laid, so he was the only one who's ever sent the text gong. But
I don't remember getting that fucking memo.
Yeah, I would have said.
Not that I have sex, but like,
no,
you know.
that was pre podcast times. Yeah. So
Oh, I was like, really? Everyone should be getting laid now. That's surprising. And I don't remember sending you the word gong
yeah,
like ever. But I mean,
the
everyone.
word gong.
Wouldn't it be more
Yeah.
apropos to send dong instead of gong? It's like
it's a
almost
little
the
more
same
incognito.
onomatopoeia.
It's like incognito, you know.
Yeah.
It's just to boast to the other guys in the group that you had sex.
Oh,
Go, gong.
Just send him
Dude,
the
I
gift
get,
from
like-
that stupid fucking like SNL sketch, that Lonely Island song.
yeah,
It's what you play.
Free that song. It's older than that.
yeah. I get like sometimes Facebook will be like, "Remember when you posted this?" And I'm like, man, that's
I
a
hate
dumb.
that shit.
Why would I post that?
I
Like,
fucking hate that shit, dude. I look at it and go, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
half the
like,
time it's like, oh,
so
Facebook,
bad.
you posted this 10 years ago, and I see it, I'm just like, I genuinely want to kill myself. Like,
God, I was so gay. Yeah, I want to go back and beat the shit out of myself 10 years ago. Although I probably wouldn't be able to. I'd probably lose.
to be fair, if you're not like in a constant state of wanting to go back in time, like even 5 minutes and kick your own ass, like you're not really living.
I feel like Schweiss would look at it and he's like 10 years ago and he's like, Ghost, listen to new band, really enjoyed. And he's like, oh God.
Yeah. It's like, I don't remember that at all.
Must have entered a few state.
Yeah. Book for me, I think I read like one book this year, dude. And like I haven't listened to books.
Wow, dude.
I might have like listened to like some, some Ben Shapiro rant book, but it wasn't really that good. And I've kind of moved away from anything political. Like I feel like the guy's books are more interesting because they're like just topic based. But like I haven't listened to a political podcast in like months now, and it's mostly because like once Israel got attacked, I was like, oh, dude, like I get it, okay.
Another fake war.
Yeah, a lot of people don't care that a lot of Jews got murdered, and it's fucked up, but like I don't want to hear about it every time I listen to your podcast, so I just stopped listening to it. And I feel great. Like I don't know anything that's going on, and like I don't care because you know what? It doesn't matter.
And what did
It
I
really
tell
doesn't
you,
matter.
like 2 years ago? Come on, man.
It's like, because like what are they gonna do? The federal government, I mean, admittedly Joe is back in like the 1800s when they literally had no control over anything, and now they still don't have that much control over stuff. It's more than it's supposed to be, but it's not that much. So like it doesn't make a difference to my daily life, like what's happening. And it's just the moment, the rage of the moment thing. And now admittedly I say that all the time, and I'm like, the one time something bad happens that he brings up over and over and over again, I still don't want to listen to that. It's like, God, get over it. Like, I know a lot of people got killed and it's crazy and it's terrible, but I don't want to listen to it every day, dude. Like, I want to know what's going on. Like, who's going to be the next president based on the polling? That's interesting. But you know what?
And inaccurate.
It's not that interesting. Yeah, and inaccurate, because the polls that said Trump was going to win the second time were the ones that said he was going to win the first time, and they only won one of those times. So, like, you never know. You never know. And it doesn't fucking matter. Now, I mean, I do hope Biden loses to whoever it is, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because it doesn't affect my life. Like, it doesn't make a difference. So I've stopped listening to a lot of that. So his one book was kind of like, yeah, it's interesting. And like, it's like political, but not like political issue of the day. So it was fine. But I did read a Jocko book. It was just like he has like weird books that he puts out. It's like his like big saying is like discipline equals freedom. And so he has a book that's just like shit to do to be disciplined. And it's really fast to read. So it's not very long. And that's why I read it. Because I was like, I need to read something at some point this year. And so I read that and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. It was fine. But I didn't read for shit, man. Like I have all these audiobooks and I'm years behind on Jordan Peterson's podcast, like a year and a half. So I'm trying to catch up on that. I'm trying to listen to Slayer. I kind of go 50-50 on my drives throughout the day and whenever I go down to Joe's. And so at some point I'm going to get back into the audiobooks, but I just haven't yet. And I read like one thing, and I started Peterson's new book that's actually like 3 years old at this point again, but all I read was the foreword.
Next year too.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
And his new tour dates were announced, and I was like, should I go? I should probably go, but I'm
going.
already sold out by now.
I don't think they are.
Oh, they're not?
We should collaborate and do that.
Oh, okay, because I don't know if I should go to Vegas or Salt Lake, but anyway,
Wait, who is it?
Jordan Peterson.
Oh.
So we can hear him talk about whatever he wants to talk about for an hour.
He's gonna sing about the Kermit song. I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. I dropped off the political stuff a while ago, at least a year ago. pretty much when I got off of Twitter too, where it was like, you know
Yeah.
what, this stuff doesn't affect my day-to-day life. It doesn't. The piece of news that does is weather. So I check the weather a lot. I have 2 weather apps. They're really important to me. And when the next presidential election comes around, I will try to listen to, assuming they're not the same fucking ones that we had last time, I'll try to listen to like the talking points of each of them and probably look at some of the independent guys, and then I'll make my decision based upon what I think is best for the country. I don't give a fuck about political parties anymore. I think they're silly.
Yeah, I mean, I watched I've watched I think 2 or 3 of the debates.
They turn everybody into like fucking lifeless robots that don't make any decisions for themselves, because they had their party make all their decisions for them, or their political commentator make all their decisions for them, and in terms of like what's right and wrong. And I don't know. I guess I've read too much for that to believe any of that. So that's my. I guess that's my cynical kind of view, and it's like, look, this shit isn't affecting me.
Yeah,
Local emergencies and local weather is
I'll watch
pretty much it.
I'll watch the debates for each of the main parties. I don't think I watched the last 1 or maybe 2 Republican debates, but it's because I already kind of know what I'm gonna do with that. But I can't even vote in their primary because I'm registered as a libertarian, which I want to just get rid of that too and just be an independent. But even then, I won't be able to vote in the primaries in Utah, except for the Democratic primary, which I'm not going to vote for either of those people. So why would I vote in that? I mean, it's what, like the raspy, horrible sounding fucking Kennedy guy, and then, you know, Joe Biden. Like, come on. So I'm not. Not only is it not my place to vote in those, because I would never in a million years vote for either of them, I'm not going to do it just because I'm allowed to, because the Democratic Party of Utah is like, anyone can do it. But the Republican Party's like, no, you must be in the party to vote in the primary. And I was like, I'm registered as a libertarian. Leave me be, man. Like, why can't I join the club just for this one day?
Come on, I'm right of center on the
Yeah, don't be a dick.
on the bullshit graph.
That's what I thought was weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm still like registered as independent, and I can't. Yeah, the primary. It's stupid.
Yeah, you can do it in the Democratic one, but I don't even know if they are primarying the guy.
I don't.
I mean,
know
they
either.
they should be, but
They do, but they have the super whatevers.
yeah.
Like,
Well, they
pretty
also
much
have
makes it
like
useless.
yeah. Well, and they also have I mean, he's the incumbent, and if he wants to run, he's going to be the guy. Like, that's pretty much a thing.
Uncle Slam says, I'm a 2 on the Kinsey scale. Why can't I vote? I can't believe that episode got taken down. That's bullshit.
It got
Really?
taken down for COVID, yeah, on YouTube. Yeah.
Did you get taken down for like anything else? I got taken down
No.
for COVID. That's hilarious.
Yeah, for COVID misinformation. I'm
Apparently.
like, nobody even watched it. And like, who's going to come to us and be like, oh, that's good info on COVID. I'm going to write that down.
This episode from 2 years ago has definitely got the right thing to say about the C word. I'm afraid to even say
Yeah.
it here because we'll get this episode will get taken down.
I know, and it's like, dude, nobody gives a fuck about COVID anymore. Why are you taking it down now?
No,
it's been up for years.
It'll come back again. It's an election year. It's fine.
Yeah. So it'd be like- go ahead.
Zach, what did you read?
I read a lot actually. I read listened to 24 books this year. I'm gonna say what I read because I want to. I read the entirety except for one of The Wheel of Time, so I finished that this year.
Whoa, except for one, you didn't do the last one?
No, I read Eye of the World in December of last year.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I said I don't want to hear the ending.
You made it all the way through Towers
Yeah,
of
dude.
Midnight.
I said I can't do
couldn't
Towers of
get
Midnight. There's absolutely no way. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I
it's
read
like, there's like
last year-
4 books in there before that one. That's, God, if you can make it through that, you can make it through anything.
I didn't feel the slog that you guys were talking about because I busted through them so fast that it was just like
Oh.
I listened to everything at times 2 speed and I just fucking slammed it and I
That's
was
what
like,
I had to do for those middle books because I was so bored.
I didn't mind it. Like honestly, I was just like it's world building.
Oh,
So I read.
all right.
I finished Wheel of Time. I read The Hobbit, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and The Return of the King. And by read, I mean I listened to because Andy Serkis did all the voices, and it's fucking phenomenal. And every year now, I will be listening to those 4 books as read by Andy Serkis because it is fucking great. I read the 2 Stormlight Archive novellas by Brandon Sanderson, so Edge Dancer and Dawn Shard. Because I need.
Oh, are you being serious about them being novellas?
Yeah,
Oh, that was a
novellas.
joke.
No. They're super
wow.
short. They're like yeah, they're tiny. They're just like.
I didn't think he wrote anything that you couldn't use as like a self-defense weapon in a home invasion. Like,
that being said, I pre-ordered his 5th book for the Stormlight Archive because I want the hardcover, so I'm pretty stoked.
will it be being delivered on a flatbed truck?
I think it's gonna have to be.
Dude, I started Way of Kings and I could not.
Really?
Couldn't. I got like 3 hours into the audiobook and I'm like, dude, I am fucking. This is so slow, and I've already lost my place. Like that's how bad it was. Like for me, I just couldn't.
Much. A Way of Kings.
I didn't think he could be as long-winded as Robert Jordan, but man,
dude,
he's trying.
That's why he finished the last 3 books, dude. Like there's a lot. He world builds a lot, but I think it's because like there's gonna be 10 books in the series as a whole. So 1 through 5 is the first arc, and then 6 through 10 is like the last arc, or 6 through 11 or 12 or whatever. So like I think he's just world building.
I like really 1 through 3. I mean, and I read 4 through 6.
Like the Mistborn trilogy was good. I'm
listening to that right now. I'm actually listening to Mistborn right now.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's really good.
They're way more fast paced.
So I'm listening to Mistborn and I'm reading Warbreaker, which are both Brandon Sanderson books, because I'm gearing up because he said his next arc for Stormlight Archive is a Cosmere thing. So like all of his books, like he's like Avengers assembling, I think, like a bunch of people for this huge threat.
Nice.
So I'm like making sure I'm reading things, but that like also goes in because like I'm reading those other ones because one of the newest books I read this year was Tress of the Emerald Sea, which is one of like he did like a Kickstarter, and they're releasing some of the books like as like hardbound copies, and so that was really good. That was one of his newest one this year, and it was fucking really good. Like I really loved it. But that made me want to go read. I bought Warbreaker, and reading that and listening to Mistborn. I started a book. Not started. I read The Lies of Locke Lamora. That was I was told I should read, and is like one that people have talked about, and the sequel to that. Christopher Paolini came out with a new book this year for the Aragon, like his Aragon like series called Murtagh, which is really fucking good. And then I read it's called Dragons of Autumn Twilight, and it's like they're older books. I don't know if they're like late 80s, early 90s, but it's for Dungeons and Dragons, and it's like their world building stuff like that. And it's like they wrote the books. It's 2 people wrote the books, but they wrote it with dice rolls from like the original Dungeons and Dragons. So like if something happens, like it's just kind of like it's interesting because like there's things that happen and you're like, oh, that's not very like that's kind of weird, but it's like they did the dice roll and they went with it, which actually is like they're more like I would say probably young adult esque, but they're pretty good. But if I had like my top, like I can't pick top. Do you like the ones that I like really really enjoyed though? A Memory of Light I really enjoyed because like honestly, dude, it fucking was not only was it good, but it fucking actually tied up in a nice bow.
Yeah.
14 books. Like I wasn't happy with all the decisions that were made in that last book and the amount of fucking people they don't kill up until the last book, which I thought was mind blowing. So I'm like in like the first 14, like the first 13, like some people die, but not like a lot of main characters or like people that you're like following. And then book 14 happens, they're like dead. And you're like, dude, what the fuck? Like I get it's the final battle or whatever, but fuck, dude.
Yeah. No, that book was sweet though. And most of the people that died I didn't care about anyway. So
I mean it's fair. I don't know. I dug it. I thought like they did Robert Jordan had all of his notes, but him and Brandon Sanderson did a good job of wrapping up the series. The Lord of the Rings are always really good. I love musicals, and a musical book is great. You fucking sing all the fucking time. Like everything is a song. The Lies of Locke Lamora like really surprised me. I was fucking really into that. It's really good. It's fun. It's a good book. I need to finish the third one because the fourth one's coming out this year, but I haven't yet. Trust of the Emerald Sea was also like really, really like big standouts. Brandon Sanderson's always good, but the way he wrote, like he wrote this for his wife and he wasn't going to release it, but she pushed him to release it, and it was bomb. And then Murtagh also was like really fucking good because I read the Aragon books last year, and it was kind of fun to like get like a continuation. And then I'm gonna make another series in this world, but like this is like what's going on directly after. So that was good.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about you, A4?
I only listened to 2 books this year, The Hobbit and A Christmas Carol. And The Christmas Carol was done by Sir Patrick Stewart, and that was great. But
That sounds cool.
it was great. I listened to it around Christmas time, and he really goes in. I believe that one's abridged, and also the version of The Hobbit I listened to is abridged, narrated by Martin Shaw, but that was good.
Why would you need an abridged
Why
Hobbit? It's
would
like
you-
80
yeah.
pages long.
I don't know, dude. It was whatever the fuck was on Spotify Premium, so I just went with it. But I liked it, you know.
It's like the Slayer song version of the reading of.
I don't know,
The
dude.
Hobbit.
The Hobbit's a fun book.
Yeah, I remembered how much I liked The Hobbit. And now I'm listening to Lord of the Rings.
Misty Mountain's cold.
I remember. No. Yeah, I remember how much I liked The Hobbit. I'm listening to Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring now. Narrated by. It's not Andy Serkis. It's not Andy
That's not
Serkis. It's
good.
Rob Inglis. It's from like 1990.
I didn't
or
buy.
whatever.
Yeah, I think I bought the old ones too.
Yeah,
I bought them because I was like, I'm gonna go through, and then I never did. But
I'm
going through
I haven't actually
Fellowship.
listened to the audiobooks. I only ever read them, but I bought one of the Audible like Fellowship.
Dude, I'm telling you, Andy Serkis
Nice.
reading that is so fucking good, dude.
I believe
He does
you.
like voices. It's so good.
On Spotify Premium, they do have Andy Serkis reading the Cimmerillion, I think.
Yeah, he's done like all of them. Like that's all
Yeah.
I give a Cimmerillion because he did that.
Yeah. So I'll get to that eventually.
Nice.
But yeah.
Well,
all right, what else do we got?
we got.
Games?
I forgot about TV shows.
Oh,
We're working our way to games. That's what
okay.
I'm doing.
TV shows. Did you guys even watch any TV shows?
I watched a little bit. My favorite TV show of the year that was new to me, because I always rewatch Seinfeld episodes when I'm bored, and I watched like a season of Arrested Development, which was great. But I've seen that before.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I found another Spanish language television show, and this one is actually fucking awesome and really funny, and I would recommend to anyone. Club de Cuervos. Club like Crows Club or something. I don't know if it has an English title, but Club de Cuervos is so fucking funny. And it's a Netflix original from Mexico that is just I've watched almost a season of it, and I'm telling you, it is so fucking great. It is so fucking funny. It's really like really good characters, and just like this funny situation about this like rich kid and his like stepsister or his half sister as they inherit their dead father's like soccer team that he has, and this kid is just trying to prove himself, and he's a fucking idiot, like making all these horrible decisions for his soccer team. Anyway, it's great. I really recommend it. You know, every time I watch something really great from Netflix, I think back to A4 saying there's nothing good on Netflix, and I just keep on thinking like, why is he watching the shitty fucking common denominator shows and not watching the
I'm
good
not.
stuff?
I just have functioning eyes and I see what they put out. So
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I recommend that show.
Well, anyway.
I don't think I watched a TV show. I'm trying to think. I watched some of it was like Haunting on House Hill around
Hot
Halloween.
D from last year?
that was 2022.
It's 22. Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Otherwise,
talking
it'd
about
be Hot D
Haunting
for
of
sure.
Hell House, right, Schweiss?
Yeah, we watched like half of it, and then like we just didn't watch anymore,
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
which is pretty typical.
Which
it's
sucks
pretty
'cause,
typical
like,
of me.
I like that guy. I like some of that guy's work. I like Oculus. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I it was whatever, but we just kind of stopped watching it, and I don't think I watched any other TV. I thought about rewatching The Sopranos again, but I didn't. I don't know. I don't think I watched a television show. TV is pretty rare for me, honestly. I don't really watch TV. So, Zach, what about you?
I watched. I don't know. I watched anime this year. That's probably about it. 'Cause I got my girlfriend into it, so I've had to go back and watch a bunch of stuff that she's like found out she liked. So I don't know. Junk food TV, like really, like nothing really stands out, like TV wise. Because I don't watch a lot of TV. Like honestly, like,
Yeah, that's what I view TV as too, is kind of junk food, and it's like
I like again, like if it was like animes or whatever, I'm like, okay, I'll keep up with this like once a day, you know, like it comes out on a Thursday, I'll watch it or whatever. But it's like for the most part, like I'm either like reading an actual book, like you know, like paper book, playing video games, painting, or fucking. I watch. Yeah, fucking, that's also one. Yeah, fucking. But watching like YouTube, I would do like because I paint. I watch like painting tutorials on certain things to like practice and stuff. So it's like I don't really watch TV. I watch YouTube. So,
oh god, you're like my 10-year-old son.
but I'm
It's
actually
like, oh, can I watch a show? And I'm like, no, you can watch a TV show. You cannot watch fucking YouTube.
I'm not watching.
No, I'm the same way, dude. I mostly just watch YouTube.
I'm not watching.
But
like video things. But like I'm actively like watching like people like who are like painting and stuff, and like, hey, you should try this painting technique out. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna practice that because that seems cool. I'm gonna try this. So.
That's fair. That's kind of how I view TV too. It's like a waste of time, and like I'd rather, if it's not something I'm willing to sit and like really be engaged with, I'm not willing to have it on near me. I'd rather have silence. I'd rather have silence or a fucking podcast.
It's like podcasts or YouTube.
That kills me. Silence kills me. Like I found out that like I didn't realize when I was living like alone that I like liked sound, like even in the background. I didn't realize that was like something that I really like not needed but like did. And then my girlfriend is like you, who like she's just like, I want silence, and I'm like, this is what? Like just play a little thing in the background. Like let's have a little chirp in the background. Like I need it, and it's like
no chirp. Yeah, no lights, no chirp.
Zach, I feel for you on that one. I've had a lot of that, but the thing is, this is what I've noticed, and because it's really important for me that this is the case. It's like I am less creative because there is so much stimulation, like going on, in terms of like, oh, I always have a podcast in my ear. I always have something going on. I like that is really pulling my attention away. Like some music can be drowned out in the background for me. But I was like, oh, I just am not. I'm always having my phone out. I'm always having like something in my ear. And so like the last like 6 months or so where I've been trying to write more because I've been trying to like, I have to make my next movie or whatever. And so I'm looking at scripts I've written, writing new stuff. And I just realized it's like, oh, this is bad for me. Like having all these social media accounts is really bad for me. Having and always having something on in the background is really bad for me. So like at a certain point when I was jogging, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to listen to podcasts unless I'm jogging, or if I'm setting up something at work, like a shot or something. Those are the only times I'm going to listen to podcasts, or for really long drives. Because otherwise, when I'm at home, I need to be more creative. So like that was something that has actually been on my mind a lot. It's like, oh, I just wasn't allowing myself to be in silence. I wasn't allowing myself to be a human by myself, allow myself to be bored. So I've been having to like work through things where I'm like, okay, put away phone time is 30 minutes before bedtime. And bedtime is 30 minutes before I think I'm actually going to go to sleep now. So I got like a whole hour without the phone in front of my face. And like I'll allow myself to listen to records or something while I'm writing, but I'm not going to pull a phone out.
So like that's I like that. That's good. Like, no, I agree with you what you're saying. Like, when I am writing, it'll be like classical music or like something that like is like I can like have in the back. But when I'm like painting, I need like something to like listen to, so I'm not just like in silence being like, I'm fucking this up really bad right now. Like, I just like. But I think that's the difference in like the artistic medium, right? Because like you're saying, like writing and stuff, definitely. But I think that like you saying that is a really good goal, and I feel like with the phone, especially, like that's something in like, I mean, I don't want to sound like a fucking old piece of shit, but like it's something in our day and age that's just there, and it's always a constant, and you kind of need a phone to function. But like in day-to-day life, like with things going on, but I think that whole hour at the end without is really good, and I think that's something that I'm gonna look into like adopting, because I think that's
you got to have that willpower to like let the screen time go at the end of the night.
I had a week last year at some point. I don't remember. It's probably fall, where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a phone fast. I'm gonna put my phone away outside of work hours. I put my phone in my car, like inside of like
in Cedar City. You put your phone in your car, and you're like, don't break it.
I let it go for a whole week that way. And you know what? That was kind of like that was a big turning point for me, where it's like, I can do this. I don't need anything else. And what I realized is like I was so much more willing to do all the other things that I love, and they were much more meaningful to me because I wasn't constantly glancing at my phone. So I would like at some point to be able to put the phone just next to the front door with the ringer on and with certain like focus modes enabled, so that I wouldn't be bugged by things that weren't important or by someone I didn't want to hear. And I've kind of worked that out. It's like the only people I will hear a ring from are members of my like immediate family and my girlfriend, if someone calls me after like 9 p.m. or something. But I kind of want that to be for like the whole day. Like, it almost used my cell phone as a home phone as long as I am home. It's like if I'm out and about, you're right. Like, I want maps or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to take away from that, but
No. That's really good. I actually like that. I was gonna actually ask you, do you find that it's harder to? Because so I found, and like, so my thing with my phone is I like to get on Instagram and look at like painters, like mini painting, and I like look at like their techniques and stuff, and I like to like, look at that stuff. But I found that I don't text as much now, because like even like answering like because like I do, my phone's down more because I'm actively living with my girlfriend, as opposed to when I wasn't living with my girlfriend. I was constantly talking to her. The last like hour and a half of my day was like making sure we FaceTimed or called each other and like talked to each other, and like because we lived an hour away, and it just made it a little easier. But it's like, do you find that it's a little bit harder, or I guess do you think you would be on your phone less if you were living with your girlfriend, or if she lived closer to you?
When my girlfriend's over for a lot of the weekends, yeah, I'm hardly ever on my phone.
Yeah,
like that's a big thing. But I don't actually. My girlfriend and I, we had like a whole conversation at the beginning of the relationship. She was really annoyed that I didn't text that much.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you should see one of my buddies.
yeah.
He only responds to one of 5, if any.
No, so that was like a thing we had to work out. It was like, I have to like text her. Like, at least she knew that I wasn't a big texter, and I was much more of a caller. So our deal right now is that we see each other every weekend, at least. And that every Wednesday night, or sometime in the middle of the week, but it's usually Wednesday night, we do a FaceTime.
That's cool.
And like, to her, that was enough. Like, to her, that was enough of like touch points where we were in a relationship. And it's not so much because she lives 45 minutes from me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same. It was the same for us. I mean, like, it was, Linden to Salt Lake, whereas like your Cedar City to St. George, which is, it was the same. It just, because like I think for me, like it feels long distance, but it's not really long distance. Does that make sense? Like, because you're not.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, I don't know. It's just I
could go down there if I needed to in an afternoon.
Right. I don't know. It's just like not like there. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, and obviously every couple is going to be different. But I've never, or I wouldn't say never. When I was a teenager, I texted a lot, but I've texted less and less as I've gotten older, and it's like tech calling has been more important to me. The phone, to me, the distraction of the phone is not so much texting. It is the other shit. It's the YouTube app. It's fucking Facebook. All the time wasty stuff. And I've been kind of cutting each of
Goodreads.
the last. Goodreads to me was like, I don't need someone to see my review of some book I read in 2013. Like, I didn't need that out there. And there was no way for me to like get rid of all their old reviews and the star ratings. Like, after these podcasts are done, I don't want to be a critic anymore. I don't think it's just not. It was something I never. I guess I like content creation and some funny critics, and to me, like, this was the way to get into podcasting or whatever. But I'm not interested as a person who makes things, as a person who makes movies. I'm finding critics to be less and less interesting. Like, they're just not. They approach things from a different perspective than like a filmmaker is going to look at a movie a lot different than a fucking film critic is. And a lot of film critics are just fucking jealous that they never made any movies. And you can feel it within them. And I think like the extremity of like someone being like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah, that's why they have so many cunty one-liners, is because they're just
they
jealous.
have a bunch of cunty one-liners, but I am one of those cunts. Like, I am one of those guys, only it's for video games. And I won't say I regret it. I just don't want that to be my future. I just kind of want to be done with that. Close that chapter. It was fun to talk about video games with my friends, but honestly, I don't agree that this is like the way to approach art or art criticism. Like, I like saying something is good or bad. I still do it because I'm a human, and that's how we kind of look through those lenses, but I don't want to do that anymore. So that's a big...
That's where like the Godzilla podcast is kind of different. Like, you guys, it's something you guys really like. And yeah, there are like you're critical of certain things, but like, it's like overall, it's like we're having a good time with this. Whereas like a bunch of the shit we've done here, it's like we're not having a good time, dude. Like, we're miserable. We're judging it as its own. It's like one of 12 games in a series. We have no context for anything before it.
I won't say there are definitely Godzilla movies that both Drew and I, or at least one of us, hates. And we have a hard time not saying our opinion on the Godzilla podcast. We usually I try to reel Drew in and say, let's leave the opinions till the end. But it generally is just a discussion about the film and not necessarily a diatribe about how clever we are and how much this movie sucks or how good it is. Because it's more complicated than that. But it's, I don't know, that the format is kind of made, it's kind of different. It's made a different way. And because I'm a filmmaker and I've studied movies for a very long time, I can break it down a little bit differently than I can with a video game, where I don't fucking know how they make a video game. I've played
it's all one series too. So it's like, that's kind of what's interested me lately is like I watched all the Bond movies, then I watched all the Mission Impossible movies, and like I haven't really moved on since then as I'm rewatching the Bond movies now. But I'm like, I like these long running theories, these long running things. It's cool seeing them evolve over the course of 70 years. Like, it's cool seeing that. And Godzilla is another one of those that's been around forever. And so it's cool seeing like, oh, these are different eras of the filmmaking.
Yeah,
it's like there's different influences.
Talk to each other. And you do see you see cultural changes, and you do see changes in the actual art form. And that's cool. It is fun to go through in that way, yeah.
And that's why, like, even though I think the Mission Impossible movies overall are average, I would give them a better rating than the Bond movies. The Bond movies are way more fun to watch. Like, I think their Bond is way better overall. Even though the Mission Impossible movies, there's one bad one and there's like 5 bad Bond movies at least. Like, I still would rather watch James Bond because it's like cool just seeing it evolve over the years, and like it's just different. You know, even though it is technically like not as entertaining to me overall, it's like it's just cooler. And I think part of that is the long running nature of it. So that's where I think the Godzilla show is kind of a cool idea, where it's like, yeah, there's sometimes where you guys probably rip on it, but it's like overall, I mean, we're still having a lot of fun with these things because it's something we've always been into. So I think that's a different beast.
I think that's
almost.
part of every fandom, though, is you have to like know that there is shit, and you have to like have fun with it.
Yeah.
And know there's still good in that pile of shit.
I feel that being a Sonic fan for my entire life.
Yeah, he's the true underdog here. Like, there's been like a good Sonic game, one, Sonic 2, maybe. And that's it.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles is good.
A4 TV. Did you go over yours? I went to the
No, and I was looking
No,
up
he
like
didn't.
anime that I watched that like somewhat recently, and it's either from late last year, meaning Bocchi the Rock and Chainsaw Man, or it's from like literally this month, which is like Delicious in Dungeon, which is on Netflix and it's really good.
That's really good.
Or Tis Time for Torture Princess, which is also like a food anime, even though it doesn't sound like it. And I watched the first episode of that last night, and it's super cute. And well animated. And then when
You
I
ever
think,
call me gay again?
no, it's good. It's really
I'm
good.
gonna play that
Because they
clip.
capture this. This is a 2024 show, but they capture this princess and they're torturing her by like showing her all this yummy food that she can have, and it's just food
Super
porn.
cute.
It's cute.
Cute.
It's well animated. It's really cute. I'm not kidding. Like, watch it. It's cute. But
Oh,
then,
we
like,
believe you.
Yeah.
We know that we know you think it's cute.
Yeah, but then when I think of like the shows I watched this year, it's like, okay, well, I watched that live action One Piece and that was dog shit, and I watched the Scott Pilgrim Netflix show and that was dog shit, and I watched the live action Yu Yu Hakusho and that was dog shit. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't think I have anything to recommend from this year in terms of TV shows or anime, unfortunately.
All right,
Just
fair enough.
separate TV shows and anime.
Hey, man.
I'm fucking done with you fucking weebs, man. You can't like. Do you know how words work, brah?
You know how words work?
TV shows and anime are the same thing. Anime or TV shows.
Yeah, if you're gonna put manga,
Yeah,
This is your weird thing where you can't subdivide shit. Where you're like, oh no, Ghost.
Well, it's not
which is
really
rock,
different,
is
though,
the
is the
same as
problem.
Avenged Sevenfold, which is also rock. Why would you break down metal into multiple subgenres? It doesn't make any sense, dude.
No, it just has to be definable, and I don't. You can't fucking define anime.
Yeah, you can. It's a
Neither
TV
can
show.
you.
It's a kind of TV show.
And it's a definition where it doesn't make sense, where there's a lexical gap. There's a lexical gap between like, oh, we have a word for animation from Japan, but we don't have a word for fucking animation from France. So
Because
Yeah.
animation from
Weird.
France is dog
it's
shit.
this weird like Japanophile,
It's like a political party. It's
a
like
weird Japanophile lexical gap that
Okay,
I do
fine.
not agree with.
Okay, fine. So
Yeah.
animation
It's-
from America.
that's-
Animation from America. Would you say that Adventure Time is a TV show?
yes.
Yeah, I would
Okay,
say
then I'm
It's a
glad we
cartoon.
understand each other.
It's a
Okay.
cartoon
Okay,
television
then I'm
show.
glad
No,
we
he was
understand
saying
each
that
other.
you were the one that separated anime and
separating
TV shows.
anime
though.
from TV shows.
No, I'm saying
But
that
if
anime and
it's a
TV shows is the
season-
same thing.
Oh, well, then that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there we go.
It's just an animated television show.
Yes.
I feel like you both were saying the same
All right.
thing, but
Yeah, you were both arguing the same point.
But you're like Kiss. Just
I
fucking
just-
Kiss already
All right.
because it's fucking
I'll
ridiculous.
put. I mean, my thing is that anime doesn't exist again, which
It kind of doesn't. Yeah.
doesn't exist because
And like to say
That's
you
what I have a
like
problem
anime,
with.
it's like, what does that even mean?
What
What does that even mean?
That's where I have a problem.
Because like I've watched Ghibli movies and those are fine.
Those are
But, like,
movies,
I don't
not
watch-
TV shows.
I don't watch anime. I've watched some anime, but it's like vastly different from other anime. There's like little kid anime. There's like more adult anime. It's like, how could you fucking
Yeah, but
say
they're all
these are the
TV
same things?
shows. Like Bluey is a little kid TV show, but it's still a TV show.
No.
Yeah,
not
but
all
unlike-
anime is TV. There are anime movies.
Yeah, there are.
I'm not,
yeah.
Okay,
If I dare
arguing-
go into a fucking convention of these fucking people that don't wear deodorant, then I said that fucking Spirited Away was not an anime, I would be fucking crucified.
I'm not arguing between
Yeah.
anime TV shows and anime movies. I'm saying that anime are TV shows
We're
for
not,
the most part.
I'm sorry. We're having an argument with someone bigger than yourself, A4. It's not just you.
Yeah, it's the whole
Anyway, I watched a lot of
It's
Netflix
the
shit
whole
this year, and
shebang.
it was a lot of
It's
dog
fucking
shit.
weird.
I know a lot of people like the live action One Piece, and it's like admirable that they're doing that, but like it's really weird knowing where the story goes, and it's just like, why reveal this now, or why did you cut this out, or why are you bringing this character back when they don't show up for hundreds of chapters? And it's like, oh, because they hired this actor and they have to have him in the show every episode because it's a live action thing. It's almost like they shouldn't have done a live action version of One Piece at all, but what the fuck do I know? I'm just like a normal guy who has like a functioning brain.
Yeah, arguable, but but yeah. What do we got next?
Movies.
Okay.
Best movies of last year that you watched, and the best movies you saw last year.
Best movie of last year. Probably The Killer, or maybe I don't think the Scorsese movie was that good. Honestly, I think it was
Fireman?
too long. Yeah, and I think Scorsese in his old age is getting like the ending of that thing. I was like, okay, look, like I get that this is a thing that happened, but like that ending was pretty cringy, dude. Like where
The ending was the worst part,
it was stupid.
for sure.
And-
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, yeah, I know why you did the movie. I'm not a fucking moron. Like, I watched the movie. I know what you think about what happened to these people. I agree. Why you got to do this at the end? Like, stupid. And it was too long. Like, I have a tolerance for movies being long. It's fine. But, like, it just dragged. And, like, I feel like he wanted to make it more of a documentary than a drama, and that showed because it wasn't that dramatic. It was more like, and it was probably really close to what actually happened, which is admirable, and it was cool, and there were some good performances in there. But there was no like character arc for most of the characters. They were all the same person at the beginning, same person at the end. I didn't find it that intriguing, and it was 3.5 hours long, dude. It's like, bro, no.
I think it's a much better movie than you do.
I
Yeah.
have to go. I just got a call out for work.
Oh no, Zach.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Okay, what's your game of the year?
My game of the year is Sea of Stars. Fucking play it. It's so fucking good. It's amazing. It's a love letter to Chrono Trigger. Is what the developer said. It's really good. It makes me actually want to play Chrono Trigger because I've never played it before. And
You should.
the creators of Chrono Trigger like shouted out this game and said how great it was. So play Sea of Stars. It's an RPG. It's really good. It's fucking rad. Art style's good. It looks like old like 90s games. It's great. Play it.
All right, man. Well, enjoy work.
Okay. Yeah.
Shit.
$95.
Do you want to make
I get
this?
$95 straight up, baby. But see you guys.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Do you want to make
right.
this like a two-parter and do
No,
the?
I don't think we have that much longer.
We really don't.
Are you getting calls from your wife right now?
About 40 minutes ago, she came down here and I gave her a one finger, and I
Means
We could speed through the rest
probably
of
in
these, right?
trouble. I mean, I don't know.
We
Let's
can
just go.
we can pause the recording and then have you go take care of your stuff and come back in 20 minutes. But
No, let's just finish.
okay, all right, cool. Well, then I'll give you my quick rundown of some of the best movies that I saw this year, and I will make this quick. So from last year, I will say that these are the highlights. Now, I thought Killers of the Flower Moon was a lot better than Schweiss did. It's not the best Scorsese movie. It's probably his worst
No.
one since Gangs of New York. But
Which is also not that good.
yeah, but I mean they're both worth watching. So
No,
that's the thing. I would say like it's definitely still a worthwhile movie, and there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. The ending was a little cringy, but I don't know. I thought it was good, but it wasn't one of my standouts. Here are my standouts. These are movies that I fucking loved, and I would recommend to anyone. Except for maybe one I wouldn't recommend to anyone. One of them is like that Avenged Sevenfold album where some people fucking love it and think it's a masterpiece, and some people fucking hate it. That movie is Beau is Afraid, which I fucking love. I love Beau is Afraid. And I think anybody who doesn't like it I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I can understand someone not liking it. The movie is fucking crazy.
It's an Ari Aster movie. It's
And if-
yeah.
And if someone has never seen like an art film or just has no sense of humor about shit that gets weird, they're not gonna like that movie. Beau's Afraid is so fucking weird on purpose weird, and it's absolutely hilarious and intense and crazy and off the wall and super creative. I absolutely love Beau's Afraid. I also loved probably the best Godzilla movie in decades. Godzilla -1 is a wonderful movie. I highly recommend it. I loved The Killer, Netflix original The Killer, directed by David Fincher. I thought it was so much fun. I watched it multiple times. The movie Past Lives, which came out in the early part of the year, that's probably going to get a Best Picture nom. That movie was tearjerker, beautiful little film about this like long lost love, and it's so beautiful. It's so good. Loved Oppenheimer, loved Barbie.
Oh yeah, Oppenheimer.
The best movie of the year, I think, the standout movie of the year was The Holdovers, the Christmas movie. So good. Such a deeply powerful film, extremely well crafted. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. I recommend everybody to see The Holdovers. The best Christmas movie since Elf, for sure. And one of the best Christmas movies I have ever seen, period. So good. So good. So those are my standouts.
You know what else is really good? Wonka was really surprisingly good.
Really?
Like I saw that. I had no interest to see it, and I went in and I was like, "This is actually pretty good."
I've heard a couple
liked it a
people
lot.
saying that one's good. I heard one person who fucking hated it.
Oh, it's
know
way
why.
better than the creepy Johnny Depp one for sure. But
Not a super high bar,
Girlfriend
but all
loves that
right.
movie, apparently.
not really. No. What about you, A4?
I really like the Super Mario Brothers movie. That was a lot of fun, a lot more fun than I expected to have. And I didn't see a ton of movies from this year, but Wikipedia does list this one as from being a 2023 movie. And I watch a lot of I would try to watch a horror movie every night in October. And the last night, October 31st, when the wheel was spinning, we got a movie from 2023 called Cobweb. And that is like a really good Halloween movie. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to spoil it. Going as blind as possible. Cobweb is great. I highly recommend that thing. It's a blast. And then I guess for movies that I hadn't seen that I saw this year was, you're going to be surprised, but I had not seen Little Shop of Horrors until this year.
I have not
wow.
seen that movie yet.
You haven't seen
it's
Little...
good.
Oh, dude, you should watch Little Shop of Horrors. It's great.
You know
Yeah.
what? I forgot to call out mine. You know what was the big movie of mine that I always said I haven't seen that yet, and people were like, "What?" And I finally watched it this year. I finally watched Die Hard, which
Nice.
was fucking
Oh wow.
great.
Oh yeah,
It
it's
was
awesome.
fucking
Yeah.
great. I watched Die Hard. I watched The Blob,
Which one?
which was
Which
also
one?
fucking great. The 80s one.
That one rules. Yeah, that one's
dude, That movie's
amazing.
fucking great. I was like, because it was like a secret showing or whatever after this horror film festival, and they put it on, and I was like, The Blob, and I was like, I guess I've heard the movie title, but I've never seen this movie, and it turned out to be like, it was so fun. It
Dude,
was so much
The
fun.
effects in that movie are insane.
They are great. They are great.
But I will say,
So
Little
many of
Shop
them
of
hold
Horrors,
up.
you should absolutely watch that. Directed by Yoda, directed by Miss Piggy, Frank Oz.
Nice. Guys.
Really good songs. If you watch Little Shop of Horrors, make sure you watch it with the original ending and not the theatrical ending, because there's a huge difference.
I will say I've seen the very original Little Shop of Horrors.
Right, the one with what's his nuts. But yeah, no, watch the 80s one. It's great. It's fantastic.
Are you talking about the Steve Martin one or the?
No. There's one with really famous actor who wasn't famous yet, but
It's the Roger
it's
Corman
like
one you're talking about.
It's
The
a Roger
50s
Corman.
one.
Yeah, Roger Corman. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 50s. It's a 50s one, and it's not that great.
Jerry
But
Lewis,
I
right?
watched it.
Is it Jerry Lewis?
No, it's fucking. Oh, it's Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson is in it.
No, he is in it, but he's like a bit part. which there is the same
that's
bit
what you're
part
saying. Okay.
is a cool actor in the 80s one, but I don't want to spoil it. But yeah,
Okay.
no, Steve Martin is in the 80s one.
And I've listened
God.
to the musical, like the songs. So
Yeah, no, then watch the 80s one because that's just the musical. But God, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, let me add two more. I finally saw Gaslight. That's another like famous movie. Obviously,
Yeah.
the term Gaslight comes from the movie. The movie's really fucking good. And then this was The Holdout. If you have Disney Plus, watch this. David Lynch's The Straight Story, which was his Disney movie about a guy who tries to cross the state with his lawnmower in order to see his long lost brother. It is, you'll cry buckets. It is it's really funny and it's really beautiful, and I highly recommend it. So The
Nice.
Straight Story. It's from like 2001. And I saw it this year, and it was like revelatory. It was beautiful. Sorry, I cut you
The
off
old-
in the middle of yours.
No,
Yeah, the old. I'm gonna cut you off too, but the old classic movie I watched was Alien that I had never seen fully.
nice.
You hadn't seen that?
No, I had only remembered
Holy
her in her
shit.
panties. That's the only thing about that movie I remembered.
And a
Oh my
pussy,
God.
but in the more literal sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
Alien's good. If I can shout out one more that I saw this year for the first time that I hadn't seen that I should have seen by now, it was They Live. A movie that is maybe way more relevant now than it was back then.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fitness. How was your fitness year, and what's your new fitness goal?
Oh man.
April, let's start with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gaining weight like crazy, and I need to not. So
Well, stop eating. That's
Well-
what I suggest. Fitness
Yeah.
or working out's not going to burn as many calories as you hope it will in comparison to what you can consume.
look, I know, but they did just open a Popeyes near me finally, so it's like it's over, dude.
Shit.
It's over.
Oh fuck. You're done.
Yeah,
And so
I
is
know.
your wallet, because Popeyes is not the cheapest fast food place ever.
It's all right.
No.
Also, I drink like a
What
Jack
about-
and Coke every night, so that's not helping. But yeah,
Yeah, that'll be good for you.
Make it a Jack and Diet Coke.
I don't. I'm not really a big fan of the aspartame taste.
Get the
Don't taste
fuck-
it after
oh my
a few
God, You're one
years.
of those fucking people. Jesus Christ.
What a
All right.
normal person. Sorry, I
No,
like
one of
my
those,
like,
I like my poison to be pure, Joe.
And you know what? If I fucking poured you a Diet Coke, you would not fucking know the
I would tell.
difference
I would
if
be
you
able to
didn't
tell.
see the
Trust me.
bottle.
Trust me. I would be able to tell.
Get the fuck out of here. All right.
I can't tell, but
I can tell, like, it feels fuller, I guess, on the
Yeah,
more
the-
sugary one, but
I can
I'd
smell it.
rather have like the crispier taste of a Diet Coke over.
yeah, well, a Diet Coke like punches you in the sinus like as hard as it can. And that feels pretty good. You know, like I like that. So
What about
Anyway,
Yeah.
my fitness goals: fitness whole pizza in my mouth.
yeah. So I went from like the fattest I've ever been, which is like in the mid 260s, to Christmas Eve. I think I weighed 200. So I lost like
Damn.
60 pounds in like 2.5 months or whatever we were doing that thing.
A4, do you want to join the contest?
Yeah.
I mean, I
you just
definitely-
have to not eat.
I definitely have. What's the contest again? Because like,
Okay, it's 0.05% of your income has to be put down as a deposit that you only get back if you lose the weight.
what does lose the weight mean?
I mean, you
Get to
pick
whatever
a number
goal.
that you need to get to, whatever your goal is.
Because like, here's the thing. I've been
We
like,
share
I've
it
been
as
like,
a group. If you fucking don't report your weight, and you don't give us the fee within a week, I think. No, 2 weeks for paychecks. So it's 2 weeks. Then you lose your deposit, and we get your money.
right. I'm probably not going to join the contest,
then-
but that's just because for
And then
like
every day you weigh in, and if you're not the same or lower than you were for more than one day, like you can go up for 1 day, but if you weren't the same or lower than your lowest weight point, you owe 10% of whatever your deposit was.
I'm probably
Yeah.
not going to join the contest, but that's just because like for basically since like high school I was about $150, and now I'm up into like the 180s, which I know is not a lot, but it's a lot for me. So
No, it's overweight. Our standards are getting shitty because everybody's fat, but that's overweight.
yeah, I know. I want to consider it like healthy weight. It's definitely not, but like,
It's not a healthy weight.
Right.
I mean,
what's your
if
height?
you were 150 before and now you're 180, it's probably not healthy.
I know it's not. I'm just saying, like, for the longest
Unless
time,
you're jacked.
for the longest time, it was like a warm summer breeze could carry me away, and now I'm like, okay, I'm a little hefty, but it's not
fat
like
people also think they have more muscle than they actually do. That's another thing where they're like, "Well, my normal weight should be 180." And
I have
it's like,
zero.
Nope.
I have zero muscle. I know this. I'm just saying.
I mean, unless you were
Yeah.
fucking taking testosterone and hitting the gym every day, I don't think so, bud. I think
Yeah,
you gotta have
'cause-
like around the normal BMI that every other motherfucker has to have too. And skinny
Yeah.
for you is not actually skinny. Like there's crazy shit there.
Yeah.
Like people's standards have gotten so low, and I'll include
Yeah.
myself with this, where it's like, oh, I feel good. 'cause I'm under 200, but it's like,
TLD,
200's fat as
TLDR.
fuck, though.
you're still asking for diabetes and heart disease.
Too long didn't
Yeah.
read. This is the year my metabolism finally fucking said, "Fuck you. You got to earn it now." So
Yeah, welcome to the club, bitch.
yeah, I know. At
been
30,
like that
at
since I'm, like,
33 years
20.
old, you think it would have happened sooner, but I certainly did.
I mean, I thought it would have, and because it did, but yeah. So my goals now get down to 160, and then just stop the fasting and just start lifting weights and try to eat clean, eat a lot of protein. I don't think I'll go keto because keto makes me kind of weak. It's like I don't have that burst energy. So when I'm doing like sets of, I'll be doing sets on the bench, and I'll do my max weight or my rep. I'll do it to where I do 6. And I'll do like 6 one time, 5 twice, and then 4 twice. So like I'm not getting super, super weak, but I feel like I'm losing that like burst of like power to get through the last couple, because I can still do, and sometimes it would be like 6, 4, 4, 4, 4. And it's like, I just can't do more than the 4. So I'm not like actually getting more tired. I just think I lose that like crazy amount of like, I don't know. I feel like it's the keto. Because I just can't lift on keto. I feel like more weak. Like I can't pound through the sets. So I don't think I'll do keto, but I'm going to try to keep it lower carb. But the nice thing about the fasting is it's like a superpower that's always in my back pocket. And so should I start to get too fat again, I can always cut it off and go back to fasting for like a week or 2. But that's kind of my goal, is to get to 160 and then to just not worry about my weight as much, and then start training like for running, and then start training for just lifting, because I'm starting to build a home gym. I'm gonna put a fucking sauna in this house. Like I'm gonna have it set up like crazy. So yeah, that's kind of my fitness goal, I guess, for the year.
Last year I gained, well, over the last couple of years since I started running, basically, I gained a little bit of weight at a time. And then the last like month that I was running before my marathon that I completed last year, that brought me back up to like 224, I think. And I was feeling real pudgy because I didn't have clothes that fit me. I was like, outside of this shirt, this is my like extra large, I feel fat today shirt. I didn't have clothes that fit me, and it was just, or pants that fit me, and it just felt awful. And so that's when Caleb and I started the weight loss contest. Like I came up with some insane system, which works really fucking well.
Yeah.
However, Caleb is better at the fasting than I am. Like, every
Yeah, he
time-
comes up with ways to steal my money, and it ends up backfiring no matter what.
So every time I've had a holiday, it's in like I went crazy for like a day or two or a week for New Year's and Christmas. It's taken me like 3 weeks to get back in the groove of things. Like it's always so hard to say no to food and stuff like that. So Caleb is, in the time that I lost 30 something pounds, like Caleb lost like 60. It's crazy. But anyway, my goal is to get down to 169, which is kind of the upper end of a normal weight according to the BMI chart. I don't really know if I want to get rail thin or anything like that, but at that point I would like to start running again. I just found when I was doing the real big mile days on the running, like, 18, 20 miles. Those are days I'll eat everything for a week. Like it was impossible not. So when I do this again, my girlfriend decided she wanted to do a half marathon. So I'd like to do that same half marathon with her next September or this September.
Mm-hmm.
And when I start doing this stuff again, I would like to be largely keto. There was a guy we brought on to the Live Ultralight podcast named Mike McKnight, who's like a big champion runner. He won like the Moab 240 or something. And he does low carb, and he's a runner. And his whole thing is like, he generally eats low carb, but then he'll have some fruit. If he feels like if he's going to do anything longer than 4 hours is his threshold for that, then he'll eat like 100 carbs worth of something in order to have the energy, which is about right. Like you don't need, like runners will eat sugar all day. You don't need that much sugar because you have to burn like 2,000 calories before whatever glycogen you have in your muscles is actually gotten rid of. So it takes like a lot more. It takes about 4 hours to burn 2,000 calories when you're doing that stuff. So that is about right. So at about the 4 hour mark, that's when you're going to want, a few hundred calories worth of like some gummies.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking like I need to find a way to like find a sugar or like carb amount that I can have right before the lift where it basically burns the carbs away during the lift, and then I'm mostly back to keto. You know what I mean? Like I want to try to find a way to do that.
The number I've seen thrown around a lot is like 100 carbs. It's pretty good, like a low carb. That's still considered low carb, but it's enough where you're not going to be in ketosis. You're going to be burning sugar. And so,
by the way, thank you.
I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me, but that's what I've seen.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you for my friend Mondays for rating us with a party of 6.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
We're talking about being fat.
Yeah, we are talking about being. Speaking of being fat, now it's time for the games. Now it's finally time for the games. So, as a wrap up for the Hog, in last place for the hosts, Zach with 15 games. Next up, Caleb Schweiss with 20 games beaten last year. I was in second place for the first time ever, I think, with 21 games beaten last year. And then King Hog, A4, congratulations. 32 games beaten in 20.
Those are rookie. I said it again. I said it before. Those are rookie numbers for me. That's like so bad for me.
Yeah.
Why was it so bad for you?
Because I was playing games for the show instead of just like playing a bunch of like one-off shitty like hour and a half long hentai games.
So I would like to know, Caleb, if you can bring up I can't find this document. If you could bring up the like list of all the games we've ever rated for the show.
Yeah, I got it.
We need to award the Nude Clan Game of the Year and the Nude Clan Classic Game of the Year and the Nude Clan Piece of Shit Award or whatever we were calling that. So I'm going to leave you to those awards.
Okay. So the Nude Clan Game of the Year, I think the only game that we played this year for the show was God of War Ragnarok. I'm pretty sure. Because I've got Kingdom Hearts, Theater Rhythm, Halo 5, God of War, Infinite, Ragnarok, 16, Ocarina, Majora's, KOTOR, Chain of Memories, all the fucking games.
I mean, Ragnarok was technically a 2022 game, so...
Oh, shit. Do we have no Game of the Year award for Nude Clan? Is that correct?
I don't think we do, dude. I don't think I played a single game from this year.
Oh, my God. Wow. I mean, I played Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah,
So,
I guess that's my game of the year.
I guess that's Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Did anybody else? Let's see.
Did you do RE4 Remake A4 or was that OG?
I did not.
RE4?
No, I didn't finish it.
Okay, well, congratulations to Final Fantasy 16. You are somehow defaultly our Game of the Year 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good game. I enjoyed that game, but I mean, there are other games on our list that I liked more, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations, Final Fantasy 16, because you were reviewed on Geekdom Entertainment you get Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a sad
That
day.
sucks.
We didn't,
I know.
we didn't beat any games from.
Well, because it's like,
2023.
dude, like there were games that came out this year, but like we really weren't focused on them. Like Ragnarok was the big one, but
No.
that was last year.
We were focused on finishing up
I
the
should
show.
say. Yeah. Like I'm looking through the games that I beat this year, and like honestly, my personal game of the year, I think, might end up being Parasite Eve. Just because that's the one
No,
that
shut the fuck up.
No.
I loved Parasite Eve 1. I loved
Dude,
it.
God of War 1 is better than Parasite Eve. Come on.
I mean, I could also say God of War 2 or 3. And those were good. But
Yeah.
I really did like Parasite Eve 1. I thought that was a good little
Over
game.
Resident Evil 4? You fucking played Resident Evil 4.
I did. Yeah, but like,
Fuck you.
Game of the Year is Resident Evil 4, parentheses 2005. Ooh, what a fucking, what an upset. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's
Everyone
true. It's got to be
knows
like a new.
like everyone knows Resident Evil 4 is a good game, but like, I really did, like, I was glad I played through all the Parasite Eve games this year, even the third birthday, even though it kind of fucking sucks. I'm glad I played through all the God of War games this year, even though most of them aren't very good.
Fuck you.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, when I say that, I mean like the new ones. The old ones are good.
Oh, okay.
But like, yeah, I didn't play a lot of
I'm
new.
still
like,
offended.
like Zach said, Sea of Stars was his game of the year, and if I had finished that, it would probably be my game of the year as well because I really liked what I played of Sea of Stars so far. I just didn't have time to finish it. Same thing with like Hi-Fi. I really like the vibe of Hi-Fi Rush. I just didn't have any time to like finish it, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
it's just what it is. Yeah.
I mean, I guess
right.
my retro game of the year personally is probably, I guess, Dream Drop Distance, because it's got a really cool like leveling system.
I never got to tell
But
you guys because I was listening to those episodes after the fact. I'm really glad you guys like Dream Drop Distance because I really like that game, and it's not just because the world ends with you characters are in it, but
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was like
fun
the
game.
least cool.
That's a
That
lot
was
of
like the
fun
least cool part about the game. Was them being in there. I was
also
like, who the fuck is this
Mondays in the chat says Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is a strong second place. I also did not finish Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, but I played a lot of it, which is like a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, and it's really fucking cool. Had I finished it, it would probably be up there. I didn't finish it, so.
I bought Resident Evil 4 Remake, but I didn't play it. I do have the Nude Clan Classic Game of the Year, though.
I played.
It didn't come out.
I played
go ahead.
RE4 Remake up until about the Del Lago fight. I did not finish it, sadly.
No,
Sorry.
I'm excited to get to it, but it's like a delicacy. It's like once I'm done with all this other shit, then I'll do it.
I
Which
liked
is
what,
stupid
I
'cause
liked
I'm
what
like, why
I
did
played
buy
so
it if
far.
I
I'm just
wasn't gonna
saying,
play?
like it's good. Just
Good.
Yeah.
The Nude Clan Classic Game of the Year by a mile was Halo Infinite. That's like the 7th greatest game of all time, according to us.
That's bizarre.
It was,
but all
it was a
right.
great time.
I was tying that in my personal game of the year for what I played last year. It was between Halo Infinite and God of War Ragnarok. I fucking loved both those games. I think the edge might go to Infinite. So
It did on our review
Because it's
by
a
1
video
point.
game, unlike God of War Ragnarok.
It was
which
fun
is a
playing
shitty
that
movie.
with. It was fun
Dude.
playing that co-op with Joe. That was a lot of fun,
Dude, that was so much fun. Halo Infinite was so much fun. I'm so glad,
especially
that,
after the
that it lived up
dog
to the
shit
hype.
Halos.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like
After 4 and 5, oof.
Yeah.
like I played most of the other Halo games co-op with Zach, and I think I played Infinite by myself. But like that open world formula fits really well with Halo. Like it worked really well.
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah. It, like
I had a lot of
doesn't
fun
make
playing
sense,
that fucking campaign. Yeah.
It's a good game.
so. There you have it.
Congratulations to Microsoft.
Yeah.
We'll send you nothing, but
We'll send you the glowing
for
eye hog
participating.
trophy.
Yeah.
So our last award that we're going to give out, and this was tough. We definitely argued a lot about who should win this award this year. This is the Big Tits Award. I can't remember the original title of this award.
Audience
It's been too long.
Maximus.
But the equivalent for UFF was Audience Maximus, so we'll just call it Audience Maximus again. But our Big Tits winner this year, or the Audience Maximus, as A4 wants to call it, is a man who sacrificed his family, his health, and his well-being just to play games with us really late and wait for Caleb Schweiss for hours to hop on games like Phasmophobia and other games
And
like
Devour.
Phasmophobia.
And Devour and other Devour clones and other clones of other Devour clones.
And we've been really hitting the games hard, so we haven't actually played with this person since the beginning of the year, basically. But given all the sacrifices and all the time that they put forward into this, we want to say a big thank you to Redrick or Red Eric. We're still not sure. For hopping on and playing with us in those needed moments.
Yeah, when we needed that third or fourth man to get us through that fucking new pig level, you were there. And that level was fucked up, and we spent a lot of time on it, but you were there, bro, and we did it. So I really appreciate having you. I wish we could have you more, but we just aren't playing as much. We are, but we're like concentrated on like what we're doing. So basically we're just miserable and we miss you. So yeah.
Wasn't there something
We
else
miss
though,
you.
Joe?
Like, what was your biggest highlight for 2023, and what are your plans for 2024? Like, if you were just to name one thing, what was the coolest thing that happened to you in 2023?
Bought a new house, sold my old townhouse. That's definitely the coolest thing that happened to me. Transferred to a new job. I basically started a new life around like October of last year, and it was good.
Nice.
I can't wait till the mortgage rates drop so I can shave a couple thousand off of that fucking payment, but it'll happen eventually.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's an election year, and the Fed will probably manipulate that to make
Well, it
everybody
already
a little
dropped
happier.
a little bit. I don't know how
Yeah.
long you have to wait before you can refinance, but
You don't have to wait at all, but
oh, you don't. Oh, that's nice.
no. But I want to try to see if I can get the primary mortgage insurance gone too, and that you have to have 25% equity. So I'll look into it though. But that's the coolest thing that happened to me for sure.
Cool. The coolest thing that happened to me, I ran a marathon. I think that's probably the coolest thing that happened to me. After like never running a single mile one time ever until about 2 years ago, all the way to running a marathon. And it's, again, not hyperbole on the not running. When I was in high school, I couldn't run a fucking mile all the way through. I ran my miles that we were timed on. And I had a wonderful 12-minute something mile. That was my fastest time for a very long time. Now it's 8 minutes something. But, yeah, that was a journey. And I put a lot of effort into it. And it, I think, paid off. I remember getting to the finish line. I was like crying. Or almost crying. I was holding it in, but I wanted to cry. And having blood all down my legs. And and I really want to do another one and finish stronger. That's all I want. It doesn't have to be faster. I was doing an all downhill race before, so I don't know if I can do it faster if I trained for another cycle. But I do want to do another one. Maybe not this year. I've got these shows going on and I'm trying to fast down to a certain weight. And so I can't really train until after that, but maybe the year after. I think like another full marathon is in the works. That was probably the biggest highlight of the year for me.
All right. What about you, A4?
Mine's a little gay, but I went to a concert to see one of my favorite bands live back in June, and my wife was supposed to go with me, but she decided she didn't really want to because she's not into the metal stuff. So the show itself was on Father's Day, so like a couple weeks beforehand, I called up my dad, and I'm like, do you want to go like a metal show with me? So I took my dad to see a few of my favorite bands live, and we had a fucking blast in a way that like he really appreciated the music that like I didn't think he would. So that was like genuinely really awesome. And then as for minor ones, I started learning Japanese this year, and just another minor one because he's in the chat. I met my friend Mondays this year in real life, and we hung out for a bit, and that was really fun. So
Did you meet him on a Monday or no?
No, I think it was like a. No, I
we're
think it was.
chatting
I
with
think it
him on
was a
Monday.
Monday actually, because
Yeah, today's a Monday too.
yes, I know, but yeah, we met up at like around 1 near me, which is like a big Japanese arcade chain. So we had a lot of fun, and
Nice.
that was a cool moment. So yeah, and Monday's confirms
cool.
it was a Monday.
Oh damn! You wait to just tell him he better make sure you never find your Tuesday.
Yeah,
Although he gets his 1 day a week, so I guess he could.
he says we talked about how Kino Drive, the Ryan Gosling movie, was. And I know that because when we went to the video game store near here, he bought the Drive soundtrack on vinyl, which I wanted, but I told him, I'm like, you better buy that before I do. So
That's a pretty sweet movie, honestly.
I really like Drive. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's
a
like
slow
awesome.
burn, but man, it's a good movie.
It's fucking violent as fuck. Like, oh my god.
I'm sorry. I forgot to shout out another movie from a previous year that I saw. It's because Drive reminded me of It Follows, and the director of It Follows made a movie called Under the Silver Lake, which was really
Heard of
cool.
that, but I haven't seen it.
You should. It's cool. Yeah, anyway, Under the Silver Lake. Go watch it.
I think my favorite Nicholas Winding Refn movie is that one's Neon Demon.
Neon Demon?
I fucking
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, I love that.
I've heard good things. I haven't seen it, but
it's if you have Amazon Prime, it should be on there. I think it's an Amazon original, like an early Amazon original.
right.
2024. What are you guys doing?
Finishing up shows.
Yeah.
Figuring out what I'm going to do after that. I'm going to try to work on my basement. Father-in-law wants to help out a lot. Brother-in-law wants to help out a lot. Got to wait for him to fix his leg that he broke falling off a ladder. I want to kind of fix that up, get my home gym built, which I need to put in the walls and the flooring down here before I put in the sauna, because I need to have something to put the sauna on. And I'm going to make it an indoor sauna because I fucking want it.
I'm just picturing
And-
you, because like the saunas, I guess, were invented in Finland, and they have like a saying. It's like "Perkele." So I just imagine you fucking pouring water on the rocks. "Perkele satana."
I will do that for you now. Not now, but like when I get it.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of the plan. Just finish this up, work on some other projects that I had in mind that I haven't had time for because this is literally consuming everything. Spend more time with the kids. The wife got me this cool little Christmas gift that's like a Utah card deck, and you have it's like a scratch off, like a lottery ticket scratch off thing. And it has like a time of the year that you're supposed to go visit this place, and you scratch it off and it like tells you where to go in Utah to like see some super cool shit. And I'm like, well, I've been to a lot of places in Utah already, but then I have to realize, well, my kids aren't that old, so they haven't. So like I want to start exploring the state more. I need to explore Eagle Mountain and this fucking western end of Utah, this 40-minute out of the way western chunk of land of desolate Dust Bowl and shit. There's a bunch of hiking trails nearby, and like I kind of want to see what's out here, but it's like I moved up here while we're doing the 3-hour-a-day gaming, and it was like late October or like October, so it's starting to get fucking cold. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have to wait till spring to like check this place out.
That is a super cool idea, though. Like that sounds awesome.
So I have a thing I did, Schweiss. You've stayed in my room. I don't know if you noticed it. That it's a map of Utah. Road map of Utah, and I've filled in all the roads that I know that I've driven down. And it's you can kind of see like the spider web. I did the same thing with the United States, but there's only like the major like freeways and highways on that one.
Yeah.
But, and the Utah one, it's like a big like spider web of the state.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
I love looking at that. And so like when me and my girlfriend want to do something on the weekends, like this year, she also made one after I did that. And so it's fun to be like, okay, well, we could just go down this road and go to a restaurant at one of these small towns.
Yeah.
And that'll be our day.
We're going to do that, and we're going to go explore Seattle or Washington and Oregon
I'm excited for
like
that.
we're going to do a week-long trip up there to go see Metallica for 2 days and then come back and
To make up
I'm
for
gonna
that
explore.
fucking show you guys went to, where
yeah, I swear to God, if they cancel one, I'm going to be so fucking mad. But
that sucked. Yeah.
I want to. One of the things I like to do is like get a geocache, because like the geocaching thing I used to love when I was a kid. And now, like, when I go on a trip, if I haven't gotten one in that state, because the app will tell you, like, oh, here's the states that you've gotten one in, you get a badge. I'm like, we got to get one in each state that we go in. So we're going to kind of take the long way the first time, go through, like, Montana, a little bit of Idaho, and then the way back, we could just fucking, you know, it's like an hour less, but we'll cut through the faster way.
I think,
but I want to explore there.
Twice, we might have to do it the opposite. We might have to do the short way up and then the long way down.
That's fine either way. But
Okay.
I want to see. I want to see
my
some.
girlfriend Laura's like meeting us in Washington because she got the plane ticket over there. Remember? And so like we have to get there by like we can't be there all day. Like we got to get there at like a certain like she gets there at like 7 or something.
Got it.
Yeah, that's why.
All right. Yeah, that's kind of the plans.
We can take the long way on the way back. But yeah, that's cool. Those are cool plans.
Yeah. What about you, A4?
Nothing too crazy. Obviously, finishing up these shows, as it's been a privilege to be a part of these in later years. I would like to get some work done on my comic, which has been more or less put on hiatus for a year or two. But I would like to actually like finish a chapter or two of that. Maybe knock up the old wife. You know, Lord willing and the creek don't rise. But other than that, yeah, nothing crazy. Just sort of general life stuff.
Just have her like get on the thing and look into my eyes for about a minute, and then she'll be perfect.
Yeah, you're like the fucking the statue of whatever the fuck from the Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland. And it's just like, oh, you looked into its eyes, now you're pregnant.
Yeah, you got to break contact with it over every like 30 seconds, or else there will be a quickening.
Yeah, yeah.
Even virtually. But
Yeah.
No, that'd be cool. Yeah.
That'd be cool if you got my wife pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool, right? That'd be cool.
I mean, it would get the
cool.
job
You'd be like-
done. I mean,
Be your kid, but it'd look like me. It'd be cool. All the benefits. It doesn't look like you, and you have it. So like, win.
yeah.
Shit.
So this year, yeah, my big goal for this year is obviously getting all 3 of my shows done by the end of the year. Godzilla's kind of like maybe, but the other 2 are for sure gonna be done. This year, Chicken Coop is gonna be in the film festival circuit. It will be at the Zion's International Film Festival in February, if anybody is local and wants to go. But it should be, peppered in different film festivals throughout the year, and I would like to travel to every single one that I can afford to go to. Even if that just means, like, I go and sleep in my car and then go to the film festival. Like, I would like to do that and travel in that sort of way.
Meet people and
meet people outside of just the Utah filmmaking community. We've been submitted into a lot of places. Who knows what we'll get into, but that's something that I want to do this year. That's kind of the big thing this year, is mostly just festival travel with Chicken Coop and to write more. So basically my life goal is to hit filmmaking really hard. Like, all this time that I've been spending on games and other like leisure activities in the last few years, I decided like I never really hit it as hard as I should have at any point, because I always had something else pulling my time and attention. And so it's like, I mean, I heard this phrase from Dave Ramsey, but I will say I'm gonna go gazelle intense on filmmaking for about 3 years. Just writing and going to film festivals, networking, going to the film markets, making packages, trying to sell packages, like all that shit. Trying to get representation with screenwriting, all that, because I want to make a living doing that. As much as I love content creation and I love YouTube and I love backpacking and I love my job, and it's certainly something I can fall back on, which a lot of people can't. Like, I know I'm living someone else's dream job right now, being a content creator, but and it's something I can do again if I wanted to. But I know with the filmmaking stuff, it's like I'm gonna give myself 3 like solid years of like
Working your ass off.
working my ass off. So much like I've been doing with the podcasts and splitting my time in multiple things, the idea of last year and the first half of this year was clearing my plate.
Clean the slate. Yeah. That's how I'm at too. Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to hit this while I'm young and I don't have kids and I can fucking do nothing but one thing. After I come home from work, it's filmmaking time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I'm viewing the second half of the year. Is like we're going crazy, and I don't know. I might be making a big metal purchase soon, but we'll see.
What do you buy, like a fucking refinery or what? No.
Just like a like
smelt
like a piece of metal of some kind. I might be making that purchase soon, and that's probably going to be a big part of my next year. But
wow, yeah, that'd be crazy.
Next year or the year after, and it's time to focus, and so like getting rid of all these podcasts are part of that. And I really do appreciate everybody like listening to these podcasts over the years. And
we love
supporting us and supporting my film projects, which especially for the first film that I made, a lot of listeners helped out with the making of those, of that one especially. And so it's not like I'm going to forget this. It's just time to move on for me. Like, I don't think I'm going to start any major content creation, and I hate that word, but podcast or YouTube channel or anything. I'm not going to start any new ones, I don't think. Not for another like 3 years, unless it's like a no maintenance one. Like, because I need to like shut up and focus, basically. So anyway, that's that.
Yeah. Also, it's not a goal, but I am extremely excited in March. I'm going to see Distant Worlds, the Final Fantasy Orchestra.
Nice. Where at?
Oh, cool.
DC. My wife sent me the thing that it was happening, and ever since I heard you guys go over Distant Worlds on Ultima Final Fantasy a couple years, like not a couple, but like a while ago, I've wanted to go for like years. So now that I'm actually going, I'm really excited. If they play, I don't think the chances of this are extremely high, but if they like play Distant Worlds and Susan Calloway's there, I will cry. But like, yeah, I'm super excited.
I think she was there for ours. One of them, wasn't she?
Was.
Yeah, I'm not expecting it. I'm just saying, like, it'd be nuts, but like,
Distant Worlds is a great song. Yeah, it's honestly, it's probably better than Answers, because Answers is kind of like brain dead when you break down the lyrics.
Well, I also have
but Distant Worlds is like fucking solid.
I have a bit of an attachment to Distant Worlds because I played a lot of Theorhythm, and like that's the song that plays in the in like the card section where you like look at all the cards you collected, and I didn't realize it until I heard your guys' episode. But also just like the sentiment behind it is very sweet, where like they got a bunch of people to sing that shit in like the actual game. But yeah, no, I'm fucking stoked for Distant Worlds. It's in a couple months. I'm like super stoked.
That's
nice.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet. Oddly, the only like classical music thing I've ever been to where people were not in suits, or like, dressed nice to go out to the symphony orchestra. It was one of the weirdest experiences ever, where I was like, oh shit, I forgot to pack anything nice. And then I went and like everybody looked like a slubby anime fan, and I was like, okay, all right, well, I guess I don't feel that bad. In fact, I'm probably looking overdressed now that I have a collared shirt. Like,
Yeah. I bet Arnie Roth is like an alcoholic because he's ruined his career doing the Distant Worlds. And he's like, oh, everybody shows up all disgusting and like, you know how many fat guts I've seen poking out under shirts at this shit? It's unacceptable. I'm a professional.
Symphony Orchestra.
Let's put it this way: if my wife hadn't sent me that Distant Worlds was happening this year in like near us, it would have been the Sonic Symphony or something.
Oh my god!
Oh no.
Ding, 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 ding.
Dude, I would have gone to that Sonic Symphony in a fucking heartbeat. You know me.
I believe you. Yeah.
I believe it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, this has been a very long episode of Nude Clan. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found some value out of it. Who knows? This was a long time coming with the After Darks. I guess this isn't an After Dark. This is technically just a Nude Clan episode, but
whatever you want to call it.
It was a non-review, so
yeah.
People were asking for the After Darks again. Again, we're gonna have a big, huge After Dark as the last episode. So put in your After Dark questions in the Discord. The link is in the description of the episode. And if you want to support us on Patreon, we'd really appreciate it. Link is also in the description of the episode. Next time we're probably going to review a movie.
Yeah, it should be Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed.
So get ready for that. And we'll see you guys next time.
Till then, live always in the nude.
Walk with your penis joke held high.
Fuck penises. Just kidding. Wait, yes, please do. If you're a woman. In my life specifically.
Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta go before I lose that ability. I'll see you guys later.
Before you get divorced.
Yeah!